Weekdays live on the free Odyssey app.
A terror suspect under arrest. Lisa Brady, Fox News. The FBI in Houston just confirming that a man now in custody is accused of supporting ISIS, plotting an attack, and offering his apartment as a place to stay.
Some of the bullet points that he was researching on how to conduct an attack on local military recruiting centers. He offered his home, as we mentioned, a sanctuary to ISIS operatives, and bragging that he would commit a 9/11 style attack if he had the resources. So it's not really clear what exactly that means, if he had the resources and what kind of resources he was able to get his hands on.
Fox's Mike Tobin, the FBI confirming that suspect was arrested at his apartment complex last week. An internet host is vowing to keep fighting after the sale of his platform to a satirical website, which had help from families who won a court fight against him over hoax claims about a Connecticut school shooting.
Alex Jones owes millions of dollars to the Sandy Hook families after they sued him over his false claims that they were all actors and that the shooting never happened. A judge in Houston ruled that Jones' site InfoWars and assets owned by his company could be auctioned off in bankruptcy. The Onion won the auction, and Jones confirmed it in a video he posted to X.
They said they're shutting us down, even without a court order. This morning, the Connecticut Democrats with the Onion newspaper bought us. They asked, did they outbid? They said, well, it was competitive. So they changed all the bidding rules, made it secret 2 days ago. I had a bad feeling. I told you that.
He said today would likely be his last broadcast on the site. One Sandy Hook parent said the death of InfoWars is the justice they've been waiting for.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. The Justice Department is demanding corrective action in Fulton County jails in Georgia, accusing jail officials in a newly released report of violating the constitutional rights of inmates by failing to protect them from violence, using excessive force, and holding them in filthy and unsafe conditions. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation. Weather.
A little breezy and chilly as we go through our Thursday afternoon. Looking for a high of 59, though that's pretty close to where we should be. And I think we'll squeeze out some sunshine as the clearing process continues behind our cool front of yesterday. Tonight, chilly, 39 degrees. Friday, sunny and 59. Clear skies for the full moon Friday night. Saturday, sunny and 62 degrees. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-5165. 800-499-5165. 800-499-5165.
If you're thinking of getting new hardwood, carpet, laminate, or vinyl flooring at one of those big box or discount stores, put it on hold. As in Reinhold. Reinhold Flooring, covering St. Louis and beyond since 1988. Residential or builder, you'll find everything you need in our showroom on Telegraph. When it comes to investing in your home, you want the best in carpet, laminate, vinyl flooring, or area rugs. Put those others on hold with Reinhold Flooring. Stop by Telegraph Road or learn more at reinholdflooring.com.
One of the things with running is I want to enjoy the run, but I never made it very far because the arches on my feet just killed me. So when I got to the end of my rope and I said I have to do something to get rid of the pain, and a couple people recommended the Good Feet store to me. I loved how I could go in and get a free personalized arch support fitting. They put that time, that work, that effort into helping you find the right arch supports. And you can walk around this store with these in your shoes and try them out before you purchase them. So after I got my arch supports, the arches on my feet stopped hurting and the pain instantly, literally instantly went away. So if you have pain, go. Find a Good Feet store and go. There is an answer. Find the simple solution that will get rid of your pain. I'm Rondi, and that's my Good Feet story.
See how Good Feet arch supports work for you before you buy with a free fitting and test walk at the Good Feet store.
Visit one of our 2 locations, Creve Coeur and Shiloh, Illinois, and at goodfeet.com.
Is thinning hair or a receding hairline making you self-conscious? Try Hair Grow from New Nordic. Stop feeling embarrassed about thinning hair and start feeling your best with Hair Grow. Available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, and NewNordicUSA.com.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and I won't be long.
Don't get me wrong. I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. Thanks for being here with us today. It's Thursday. It's Happy Donald Trump, President-elect Donald Trump Thursday, which we will have more of those.
We had one of these last days.
You got to turn on your microphone, buddy.
My microphone is on.
It is, but Brad doesn't want you to be heard.
Now, here I am.
It's personal.
Listen,
Yeah,
I need you to understand who's in control here, Ryan.
Well,
Yeah,
I think
we
that's
do.
clear.
I think we're aware. What were you saying?
I was saying that
just have to
last
say it
Thursday
really
was
loud.
also Happy President Donald Trump Day.
Yeah.
It seems like next Thursday might be as well. So it kind of takes a little bit of the sheen off of this one. I don't know. That's just me.
False.
Oh, really?
You are incorrect. There's no sheen lost. The sheen is building.
Okay.
Yesterday during the show, I went back and watched this. Have you gone back and watched when we saw the news come through that Matt Gaetz was nominated for AG?
I have. Speaking of sheen, winning.
Did you get it? It's a different sheen.
Right.
But yeah,
okay.
the
Just
sheen.
had to sneak that in while
nonetheless.
we were still there.
Did you go back? Val, we put together a short of us talking about it. Did you see us actually realize from the televisions in the studio?
No.
It's the funniest thing ever. I can't put into words what my face said when I saw that news.
Yeah, I can. I was watching your face.
Yeah. And you looked at me like when I saw your face react to my face, I think you thought we were maybe gone to nuclear war or something like that.
There was something that you had realized that I had not seen yet.
It's weird to see your face react in a way, it's weird for me to see my face react in a way that only other people would see in that moment. You're like, wow, I looked absolutely shocked.
I mean, that's a moment because this is what the nation is talking about. It's one of those almost quite breakthrough and everybody's talking about it political appointments.
It's more surprising to me and shocking every time I remember it that Matt Gaetz is the AG appointee than Donald Trump won the election.
I know. I have
a friend, a very dear friend, who I'm more of a Rubio. I'm just going to say, let's set the Republican spectrum here. I love Marco Rubio. This person loves Matt Gaetz. And yesterday we were like, well, we each got one today. It's kind of a wash.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot at play here. There is an ethics report in the House that is supposed to be released tomorrow. And the ethics report, there have been a lot of allegations against Matt Gaetz surrounding relationships he had with, the understanding that I have is 17-year-old girls. There's a lot of stuff out there. This has been deeply and widely discussed. You might go back and remember when they were trying to elect a speaker that it was Matt Gaetz v. Kevin McCarthy. And when they implemented the rule with the new Congress that it only took one member to motion to vacate the chair, who put that motion in? Who made that be the rule?
Matt Gaetz, right?
Yes. Who ended up losing the speakership?
Kevin McCarthy.
Kevin McCarthy. Well, the reason is that Kevin McCarthy was a part of, because he was the speaker and the Republican majority leader, or I guess minority leader before he became the speaker, that there was an ethics complaint against Matt Gaetz. And basically my understanding is Kevin McCarthy permitted, allowed, whatever the word is, this ethics investigation to commence. Now, if you have an ethics investigation in Washington, D.C., a lot of people are going to be like, oh, well, they're setting him up.
Mm-hmm.
I understand why people are like that. We have evidence that suggests that the Justice Department and the inner workings of the bureaucracy in Washington, D.C. can be manufactured against people because that's the swamp.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to rid the swamp. Matt Gaetz has always spoken highly on draining the swamp. So the love lost between Kevin McCarthy and Matt Gaetz, the whole taking 18 ballots or whatever it was to get Kevin McCarthy the speakership, which lasted a few yawns, and then Mike Johnson became the speakership. That was all really founded on Matt Gaetz's disdain for Kevin McCarthy over, in many cases, personal reasons regarding the ethics investigation into Matt Gaetz. And you can go back and listen to the reporting that was taking place during that time, and people will talk about that ethics report. Yesterday, Donald Trump names Matt Gaetz as his attorney general appointee, to which our jaws dropped, and really, really unfortunate in this line of work, we didn't have words.
It's true.
We were pretty much speechless. And sometimes Pete Hegseth is a good example. That one was kind of like a what? And then you learn more about it, and then you end up going, okay, well, I kind of understand this more. I've been researching this one a little bit more. It still doesn't really make a ton of sense to me. Of all the people that you have to pick from, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. But then, a little bit after the show, news comes out. Shocker, nobody saw this coming. Matt Gaetz resigned yesterday. Matt Gaetz is not a congressman today.
Right.
He's out. Well, come to find out, that ethics report was to be released tomorrow. And the reason why it was coming out tomorrow is because there is a policy in place that nothing like that gets released within months of an election. I think it goes back to August is when they're like, okay, none of this stuff is going to come out now. We don't want this ethics report or something like that to come out and dramatically influence people's votes in an election, which I'm here or there on whether that's a good idea, whatever. So it got punted to after the election is set in. It was coming out Friday. That is a House investigation. It is an intra-organization investigation. Matt Gaetz is not in the House anymore. That investigation, that ethics report, is toast. We will not consume the contents of that report unless somebody else has a way of subpoenaing it, or I don't know that it really has, if other people have access to it or legal recourse to be able to go and subpoena it, or what FOIA. I don't know if any of that is even possible. Part of me thinks that maybe the House would have to choose to release it, but I'm sure Matt Gaetz has rights there as well. Matt Gaetz resigns. The ethics report doesn't come out. Matt Gaetz's side of the story is that it takes 8 weeks to officially conduct an election to replace his seat. That makes sense, so I understand that side of the story as well. So Matt Gaetz steps down immediately, which makes it so the seat is vacated, which makes it so Ron DeSantis can order his Secretary of State to conduct an election to replace his seat, which will happen, I think the date in my head is January 3rd. So that seat will very likely go to a Republican and be that way when the new Congress, I think it's the 119th maybe, Congress commences. If this ethics report is as bad as the Kevin McCarthys of the world say it is. Matt Gaetz is never going to make it to any sort of confirmation. Oh, Annie, but recess appointments. Matt Gaetz doesn't want this report to come out. I assume even if it were not super damning, you don't want something like that, the allegations and stuff, to be released. So Matt Gaetz has been vocal about his interest in the governorship of Florida. Ron DeSantis is going to be done in 2 years. If he doesn't get appointed to the AG position and confirmed, however they go about the confirmation through actual senatorial confirmation or recess appointments, if he withdraws his name for consideration, which people do for various reasons. Steve Moore talks about how he was, what was he appointed to? Treasury or Fed chair or something?
Steve Moore that we talked to.
No,
Fed
not
chair.
our boss.
Yes.
Unless he's been appointed to the cabinet at one point or another.
No,
and I didn't know
he was
that.
supposed to be chairman of the Federal Reserve.
And they attacked him
Yeah,
like
they
crazy.
torpedoed
And
him.
he said, it was terrible. So I withdrew my name for consideration. If Gaetz ends up withdrawing his name for consideration, if the report doesn't come out, people, time may heal wounds in politics. People have short memories and then other things come out, whatever. I don't know what's going on here. But I do know that today Matt Gaetz is out of the House of Representatives. So we have the Matt Gaetz divide in the Republican Party, which I think is silly. If Matt Gaetz becomes AG, I'm not mad about it. I'm not going to be like, we were winning so much and now we're losers. That's what there are people who are saying right now, but they're on the other side of the aisle. I don't want to join them in that. I do trust Donald Trump to know what he's doing. But today, Matt Gaetz is out of the House of Representatives, and he was the biggest rabble-rouser that existed in the House of Representatives. He was the most willing to put himself in the middle of chaos to affect something that he wanted to see come to fruition. Now, that's probably what his constituents want him to do because they keep electing him. So it's hard to look at that and say, how shameful. Because if his constituents continue to elect him, that's the check on that type of behavior. If Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's constituents keep saying, yeah, we like AOC, I don't get it, but that's not my prerogative. It's the people who get to go and fill in the circle or whatever it is for AOC on the ballot. So I mean no disrespect to the people in Matt Gaetz's district. They continue to choose him. But I don't really know how this is going to end up. But my prediction here, and I could be wrong, and I'm very willing to be wrong on this, is that Gaetz will withdraw his name from consideration before a confirmation is even a possibility. Could be wrong, but that's where I think this is going.
That's all very interesting. It's just interesting, political maneuvering is what that would look like. The him resigning from Congress thing, though, Mike Waltz is also resigning from Florida, and he's resigning, I believe, now also to get that seat filled as fast as possible. So that there seems like there's kind of a double reason. If Matt Gaetz is doing it, it's to also get the seat filled as quickly as possible, just like
it's not
Mike Waltz's would be.
And it's a very, like I was saying before, when I mentioned that, when Matt Gaetz says he's doing that, it's a very viable, responsible reason to step down. But it's also super risky to be like, I'm gonna step down. Like, you're giving up your seat in Congress.
Yeah, for a position that will have a lot of consternation around it, because there is no guarantee. In fact, from what you just said, it's unlikely that he would be confirmed in that position at all.
I don't believe that the Senate. I don't believe Senator. I don't think Murkowski. I don't think Collins.
I don't either.
I don't think. I understand there's. Yeah, McConnell. I could see him going against it, and I really do believe that if the recess appointment thing doesn't work, which I believe that it seems like there is a consensus, they're willing to participate in that. For this one specifically, if the Republican senators aren't willing to confirm him, I don't think he's going to push it to make them not confirm him. That's not politically advantageous to Matt Gaetz.
Yeah. The other reason why that theory makes sense to me is that the first thing I thought of yesterday after, oh my gosh, is it never struck me that Gaetz and Trump were that close. a lot of these people you see.
You got to be careful with the word close, though, because in politics, it's not about being close. It's about being useful.
Sure. But people like Pete Hegseth apparently has a pretty good relationship with Trump. They would talk a lot. So that makes sense. Tulsi, RFK, Elon Musk, Ramaswamy, these people getting these seats, they campaigned with him. They were very publicly with him a lot. And I didn't see that from Gaetz. Some of these names I don't know as well, so you don't necessarily know. But he was one that I thought, if they were that close.
Gaetz talks about being like one phone call away from Trump all the time.
Sure, but there's a lot of people who probably are one phone call away from Trump who aren't going to get appointed to these positions.
Why are we assuming that Trump is doing this as a favor to Matt Gaetz and not as a favor to himself? I mean, if
anything Trump does is a favor to himself.
Right.
First and foremost.
If Matt Gaetz is such a rabble-rouser in Congress and you don't want that sort of... Because if I look at it, I look at Matt Gaetz and go, Matt Gaetz is why the last Congress was so ineffective, why Republicans weren't able to rule, because he put that rule in there.
And that's an opinion, and I agree with it.
Yeah. That the speaker now has to walk on eggshells wherever he goes and can't do speaker things, which they didn't have that on the Democrat side. And you had like Nancy Pelosi just swinging that gavel wherever she needed to get whatever done she needed to get done. So Trump looks at this, says, I'm going to have Congress for 2 years for sure. We don't know what will happen after that. Historically, people lose seats in the House after that. So what he wants is a very effective Congress. So he looks at this and says, well, if I do this for Matt Gaetz and he's out of Congress, then I don't have to worry about him causing trouble, and my Congress can be more effective in getting my...
And I don't even think I don't think anybody is doing anything for other people.
Right.
I think that it's super layered, because I believe that Donald Trump knows exactly what he's doing and understands the long game more than anybody else who I've ever witnessed in politics. And if he knows that the long game is Gaetz out of Congress, maybe a future governorship for Gaetz, Donald Trump's not interested in managing Matt Gaetz's career. But I guess the question is, what's the worst that can happen here? There are two outcomes, and it's all a matter of perspective. What's the worst that can happen here? Either he doesn't get confirmed to be the Attorney General, or he does. That's the worst that can happen, and it's 100% based on perspective. And if he becomes the Attorney General, does he have the ability to do what needs to be done? I question that. And I questioned that I thought, boy, that seems very strange to me. But I also, looking at the long game here, I think, as the point I was making just a little bit before, that Matt Gaetz out of Congress, I don't think that there are many people in Congress right now who are crying sad tears over his absence. Comments coming in here, I think it was Scooter was saying, but now they have 3 absences. That seat, I've been told by multiple sources, will absolutely go Republican. Ron DeSantis has already started the clock on the 8 weeks that are necessary in order to announce the special election being in place. It'll happen in the first days of January, and that seat will be filled before the Congress actually commences. So that's one seat that's not. And I've also been told with great confidence that Waltz's seat, super Republican, not going to flip. And I've been told that the Stefanik they're very confident about that one as well.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah. And I mean, these are from people who are in the conversation, who are there in the House, that are saying these are going to be Republican seats. They're not worried about that. They also explained to me that they don't really want to have this thought on further nominees. Yeah. Like, okay, you made your point, but these seats will continue to be Republican, and the clock starting on them means that those seats will be filled in time to maintain a majority. So that's the YouTube live chat poll for today. Do you like Matt Gaetz as Trump's pick for Attorney General? Not will he get there, not if he becomes... Not do you think that it's going to be an appointment by recess, or that it's going to have to go through the confirmation or whatever. Did you hear Matt Gaetz for Attorney General and go, yes? Or did you go, what? Which I don't like this pick. But if he becomes the Attorney General, I'm still super happy that Donald Trump is the one who gets to pick it. So I'm just going to tell you right now, my answer for this is no. but there are worse things to worry about. But I want to get you guys your comments about this throughout the course of the show. Hans von Spakovsky is going to be with us next. Looking forward to having a conversation with him about everything that is brewing here as the cabinet is being filled. What is a recess appointment? How does that work? I bet a constitutional lawyer like Hans von Spakovsky can explain it to us. Stick around. More Annie Frey Show right around the corner.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
STS-Armory.com. If you are in the market for a firearm, if you've got hunting season upon you and you're looking to fill out your ammunition case, you want to go to STS Armory and see everything that they have for you to peruse. They are so helpful. And Katie and Jesse are going to be in studio with us at 1:25 today to talk about the ruling, that very, very important ruling that came from a judge, my understanding is, down here on that gun ban that was implemented in the state of Illinois. Very excited to talk to them. Jesse and Katie are the experts on these things. I asked them the questions. They are the place where I go to purchase firearms, ammunition, safes, security devices. Just got my CCL renewal from the best class in the business at STS Armory. I trust Katie and Jesse with all of it, and I encourage you to learn more about them. They're located in Pontoon Beach, Illinois, and they are waiting for you to come by, say hello, tell them Annie Frey sent you. They'll be happy to see you. You can reach out to them at 618-931-GUNS. That's 618-931-GUNS. You can find STS Armory online right now with all the details that you need to know at sts-armory.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan from McKelvey Homes. This month, we're giving $18,980 off our homes in selected communities to celebrate 126 years of legendary quality and craftsmanship. In addition, our skilled craftsmen from the Mid-America Carpenters Union are offering McKelvey buyers up to $10,000 cash towards their new home for closing costs or lower interest rates. Combine these two incredible offers and save big on your McKelvey home. But hurry, this rare opportunity won't last long. Visit McKelveyHomes.com.
It's time to book your holiday parties today with Grill Master Tony. Mark Cox here. Grill Master Tony's schedule is starting to fill up. So make your holiday parties easier and tastier with Grill Master Tony for your holidays. It is the season. Choose from brisket or pulled pork or chicken and all the sides, the roasted potatoes, the bourbon baked beans, the French bread from Pete's Italian Bakery on the Hill. Also, don't forget your company parties and your holiday lunches. Visit GrillMasterTony.com.
Are you worried about the state of the economy? Concerned about market crashes and rising inflation wiping out your savings? At Noble Gold Investments, we understand your fears and have a solution. Call us today at 1-888-403-1050. Imagine safeguarding you and your family with a tangible asset that has stood the test of time. Gold. With Noble Gold Investments, you can diversify your portfolio and protect your wealth from economic turmoil. Our team will guide you through the process, ensuring you make informed decisions that best suit your needs. Call Noble Gold Investments today at 1-888-403-1050. That's 1-888-403-1050. The future is uncertain. Take control now. Call 1-888-403-1050.
Past performance may not be indicative of future results. Investing in precious metals, including gold, involves risks. Consult with your tax attorney or financial professional before making an investment decision.
You've been listening to the very popular Wellness One for many years, Saturdays and Sundays on 97.1 FM Talk. We're happy to share that we've expanded the show to 4 times a week. Yes, 4 times every weekend. Saturday at 10 a.m., Saturday at 8 p.m., Sunday at 9 a.m., and Sunday at 2 p.m. It's the same great show designed to cut through the nonsense and provide you a common sense, science-based strategy for a healthy life. So join TJ and Aaron for Wellness One. Now 4 times a week on 97.1 FM Talk.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Fall weather is on its way. Time to schedule your heating system check to make sure you heat your home safely. Schedule your heating system check today at aircomfortservice.com.
Responder Rescue is serving area first responders, and all this month they're hosting an ATF raffle. Mark Cox here. Join us in supporting Responder Rescue as part of our First Responder Spotlight. Learn more at 971talk.com.
I think choices are very good except one. Look, Gaetz won't get confirmed. Everybody knows that. But when you look at a Rubio, just the knowledge that he has, being in the Intel Committee, I was on the Gang of Eight, and his understanding, even when you listen to the other side of the aisle, they say, he'll make a great Secretary of State. So that's strong for me. A Waltz, just his background, from a Green Beret and others being the... But John Radcliffe at CIA, former DNI, that's very strong. And the difference is to what was 8 years ago today, President Trump understands the job. He knows the people that he needs around him to get there. And I think he's going to be much better prepared because he only has one term, but he'll hit the ground running this time.
We the people of the United States.
More perfect.
Your form of our perfect union.
Heritage legal expert Hans von Spakovsky.
Well, Hans, welcome back to the show. It's good to have you here, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to speak to somebody who understands the Constitution, how Congress works, and all that. Tell me what you're thinking about the way Donald Trump is going about these appointments, your reaction to what we have been able to consume so far.
Well, it is amazing to me how fast he's working. Look, it's only been a week since the election, really, a week and 2 days. And he's already picked out the major appointments he wants in many of the most important positions within the government. It is, boy, it's like a 180-degree difference from 2016, the first time he was elected. And it's very clear that prior experience has made him realize he has to act quickly. And you know, you just paid a good clip in which you said, look, he was in government for 4 years. He encountered many problems. He knows the kind of people that he needs and wants in those positions now. So I've actually been impressed at how quickly he's been moving. Yeah, it seems to me like they knew that if we win, we need to work immediately following that victory. They haven't wasted any time. A lot of what we're hearing about any of the nominations that need to be confirmed by the Senate, there's a lot of push for recess appointments. Can you explain like the standard procedure and then what continues to be asked about recess appointments? We hear it so much, but I don't necessarily understand exactly how that works. Well, when the Constitution was written, remember, we didn't have any kind of modern transportation. And so members of Congress could be away from Washington, D.C. for months at a time, very long time. So the Constitution has a provision in it that says that at a time when both houses of Congress are not in session, you know, they've taken a recess, the president has the ability to make what's called a recess appointment. So he can appoint someone to take over a position that normally you would need Senate confirmation for, and that position will last until the beginning of the next Congress. So the absolute maximum time that anybody could stay in a recess appointment is 2 years. But, you know, if you appoint somebody in December, like if Joe Biden right now made a recess appointment, that person would only serve for the rest of November and December. But both houses have to be in recess. And in order to avoid and prevent President Bush from making any recess appointments, Harry Reid set up this weird procedure for the Senate to never be in a full recess. And what they do, even when members of the Senate would go home for Christmas for 2 or 3 weeks, is every 3 days, one member of the Senate would walk into the Senate chambers, open up the Senate, wait a few minutes, and then adjourn it so that they technically are staying in session and no recess appointments could be made.
Oh, the funny games that we play in Washington, D.C.
Right.
So,
Oh, and by the way, Annie, I believe I may have been one of the last recess appointments made by President Bush before Harry Reid put this new weird procedure in to prevent them. I don't think I was the reason he put that in, but gosh, who knows? I might have been.
I would just state that claim right now, Hans, until someone takes the time to prove you wrong. I would just go with that. Hans, so the recess appointments, when would those actually take place? As we hear the president saying, I nominate this person, I nominate that person, they all have to I guess the cabinet positions have to be confirmed. My understanding is that advisors don't. Is that correct?
Right. There's only a limited number of positions in the federal government that have to go through Senate confirmation. So, for example, Matt Gaetz, who he's going to nominate as Attorney General, yeah, he's got to go through Senate confirmation. But the counselors, the chief assistants who would be working for Gaetz in the Attorney General's office, those were all political appointments. They don't have to go through Senate confirmation. The new AG and the president can appoint anybody they want into that.
Do these appointments, would the confirmations... Well, okay, let me back up. I want to make sure I ask these questions correctly. Do you believe that these cabinet positions will be confirmed through recess appointments? Do you think that will actually happen? And if not, when will we actually see those hearings take place for confirmation?
The only way recess appointments will happen is if the new Senate leader gets rid of, and that's Senator Thune of South Dakota, if he gets rid of this artificial always stay in session procedure that Harry Reid put in place. Only if that happens could the president make a recess appointment. Now, there is a new wrinkle in this, which is there's another provision of the Constitution which people are talking about that has not actually, I think, ever been used, that says that, look, in essence, the House and the Senate, it's up to the leaders of each House to decide when they're going to have a recess and how long it is. But there's a provision in the Constitution that says that if they can't agree, the House and the Senate, on when they will be in recess, if the Senate says, "Oh no, we're gonna keep doing business," and the House says, "Oh no, we're going to take a recess for 10 days," that's a disagreement between the two, and in that case, the president is given the power to put both houses into recess and to reconvene them at a time of his choosing. So even if Senator Thune doesn't want to get rid of keeping them always in session, if the House says, "Well, we're going into a recess," and Thune won't agree to it, that could potentially give the president the ability to do recess appointments, which have not been made since the George Bush presidency.
And you, Hans, it comes back to Hans von Spakovsky. I love that. I don't know if you have any thoughts or comments on the series of events from about 24 hours from now, a little bit less than that. Donald Trump appoints Matt Gaetz to be the attorney general, nominates him, or however the correct phrasing is. And then we find out a few hours later that he immediately resigns his position. So today, Matt Gaetz is not a congressman anymore, as I understand it. What do you think about that series of events and the likelihood that we'll see Matt Gaetz all the way through to the place where he's become the attorney general?
Boy, I don't know how to answer that. I thought it was interesting that he resigned immediately because he could have stayed in his position while his nomination was pending. I would have to say probably his nomination is the most controversial so far of all the nominations President Trump has made. I don't know what his chances are of confirmation. If the Republicans stay together, vote as a caucus, he'll get through. But, with 53 Senate seats, it wouldn't take but a couple of defections, perhaps somebody like Lisa Murkowski out of Alaska, to allow him not to be confirmed. And I don't have a read yet on what's going to happen in the Senate. And frankly, I don't think anybody else does either.
Yeah, everything is moving so quickly. Hans von Spakovsky with us right now. Just to also clarify, if 3 senators defected and it was 50-50, does J.D. Vance break that tie and make the confirmation?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, as the vice president, he gets to cast a deciding vote when the Senate is tied. So, yeah, he would be very important for that.
So in any vote that the Senate is going to take where it requires the basic majority, we can afford to lose 3 Senate Republican votes and still, assuming J.D. Vance, who is part of the administration likely pushing this through, he gets to break that tie.
Yep, that's exactly right.
Well, Hans, there's so much to talk about, and that's going to continue to be the case. It's hard to keep up, but we're so grateful that you're here with us each week to get down to the Constitution of it. It's good to know that people are still out there focusing on that. So we appreciate you, Hans. Thanks for being here today.
Sure. Thanks for having me.
Yep. We'll have you back again soon. Hans von Spakovsky is the senior legal fellow at the Heritage Foundation, a former FEC commissioner and a Department of Justice lawyer. Interesting stuff. I think it's funny how he said, I don't know how to answer that.
It's happening so fast. I mean, he just said it's been a week. It's been a week and all this is happening. So I'm sure they're trying to keep up with everything too. And man, if the rules are that specific to how you could get a recess appointment, that's why it's valuable to have Hans on.
Yeah.
Who else is going to know that specific of how that works?
Yeah. Good conversation there with our friend Hans. Quick break. When we come back, Ryan Wiggins takes over for Wiggins America. Stories that make you say,
what?
Yeah, Matt Gaetz for AG. Huh?
We'll lead with that one.
Yeah.
Although you probably already know that one.
Man, I feel like it was 2:32:20 or something when I went back on the YouTube. I'm going to show it to you. Because I think that we exemplified what the entire country did yesterday when that news hit. Do you like it? Are you excited for it? Are you scratching your head and face palming every time you think about it? Do you like Matt Gaetz as Trump's pick for Attorney General? Yes or no? Annie Frey YouTube channel. The poll is right there in the live chat. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Michael's Flooring Outlet, igotfloored.com. That's igotfloored.com. If you're shopping for flooring, make sure that you give Michael's the opportunity to earn your business. Any type of flooring that you're looking for, whether it's for your newly finished basement or the renovations in your bedroom where you're getting rid of the carpet or you're replacing the carpet, Michael's Flooring Outlet is there to guide you through the purchase to make sure that your hard-earned dollar goes to quality new flooring. They also are happy to help you if you are looking to do a flooring job in your business. If you're a commercial business entity and you need to put in new flooring, replace the flooring, you can go right to igotfloored.com and you can request an estimate right there. You can also peruse the website and see the various amount of reviews straight listed on their website. They're very proud of it. You can see the people who are very satisfied with the work that Michael's has done. You can also see people who have gone back to them multiple times over. All of the information at igotfloored.com.
Experience the beauty of custom-crafted windows that enhance your home's aesthetics and energy efficiency. Look no further than Infinity from Marvin, proudly brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design. Why choose Infinity? These windows are not just strong, they're 8 times stronger than vinyl, providing unmatched security for your home. Plus, with Lakeside's expert installation, you're guaranteed precision and perfection. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today. Elevate your home with Infinity from Marvin, where strength meets style.
Why do the national tax resolution firms need the tiny fine print at the bottom of all their TV ads? Hi, this is Lance Story with the Lance Story Law Firm. You don't hear fast-talking disclaimers in our ads because the claims we make are 100% transparent. The Lance Story Law Firm primarily focuses on one thing, IRS problems, and we're regulated by the Bar Association, and we have a AAA rating with the Better Business Bureau. IRS issues are serious legal issues. The Lance Story Law Firm has helped thousands of clients navigate the best resolution plans, and we tell you up front exactly how much it'll cost. Tax resolution law is all we do. So before you send money to some out-of-town, high-pressure salesperson, give us a call at the Lance Story Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Call today to schedule your free consultation with me, 314-260-6120, or visit lance.drurylaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Is your car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs, Ox gets it fixed, free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A+ rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote, 800-296-3315. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-296-3315, 800-296-3315, or go to oxcarcare.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon. If you're nearing retirement or already retired, call my friends Thomas Helbig and Bob Kershaw with the Retirement Advisory Group. They'll show you how linking to the market is much safer than owning the market for your retirement savings. They're the official financial advisors of my show. Go to retirementkey.com.
The YouTube live chat poll today. Do you like Matt Gaetz as Trump's pick for Attorney General? I am very interested to see how this poll turns out. So vote in it. It's a yes or no. Do you like Matt Gaetz as Trump's pick for Attorney General? Type in Annie Frey on YouTube. You will find it. 1247. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
The Trump presidency is coming into focus. Keep it here for every twist and turn, because the updates are happening fast. 97.1 FM Talk. The vision and strategy for 2025 is here. This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Frey Show.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. I just wanted to give you a reminder that today, November 14th, is Girls' Night Out at the Diamond Shop. I love the Diamond Shop, and this is a cool event. If you go hang out, they're 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. in Clayton, Missouri. You can go to the Diamond Shop, drop by. They have amazing jewelry pieces, all of the latest trends for you if you're looking for something for yourself this holiday season or somebody you love, but don't forget about yourself. Everyone in attendance gets a chance at the grand prize, and according to their Facebook page, the grand prize is a 14-karat yellow gold diamond flower necklace, retails at $2,460, which is pretty exciting. So if you go 5:30 to 7:30, I'm working on my schedule. I'm going to see if I can make it as well. 5% of every purchase tonight also during the event is going to this year's charity of choice, the Backstoppers. Pretty hard to argue with that. 5:30 to 7:30 tonight at the Diamond Shop.
Wiggins! Oh! Wiggins! Well, I have a lot of stuff here, so we'll try a whole lot of stuff
I have
here.
a whole lot of stuff.
I can't even hardly speak it so much.
This is a whole lot.
I've been drinking some tea. It's making me feel like this. It's all the caffeine.
Inebriated Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it?
I know. Every once in a while, you start making a point, and I'm like, "There's Jerry."
Sorry.
You don't be sorry.
I am, though, because I'm not trying.
Mimic his success. It'll be great for the show.
Yeah, right. I'll speak at commencement speeches at Yale from now on. The one that's kind of breaking news, so I'll report it first. The Daniel Penny trial. Now, we haven't been following this super closely because, gosh, there happens to be a lot of other things going on, like an election. But a big piece of news here in the Daniel Penny trial in New York, the key witness in this trial has admitted that he has lied about the way this thing went down. So Eric Gonzalez is the main witness for the prosecution. He is now saying, and he's on the subway rider video helping Daniel Penny hold down Jordan Neely after this thing occurred on the subway, right? He is now saying, Eric Gonzalez is saying, that he gave testimony during Penny's trial after prosecutors agreed not to charge him in exchange for testifying against Penny. And now he's saying, I did that, but I did that basically. I mean, I'm reading into this, but it seems as if the reason that he's coming out and saying, well, I did that because I was given sort of a free pass immunity by Alvin Bragg. Now he's saying, but that wasn't really true. So this is going to be a major turning point in that trial. The quote here is from a defense attorney in Philadelphia saying he is their main witness and his credibility is now shot after being confronted with this.
Wait, so the prosecutor said if you testify against Daniel Penny, then we will give you immunity?
It says he said that he gave his testimony to Alvin Bragg, and prosecutors agreed not to charge him in exchange for that testimony. So that's the direct quote of what I'm reading. So,
ooh, doggy.
Yeah, no kidding.
Let's wait and find out more.
Yeah, so that's a big story. We will continue to follow that, especially with these twists and turns happening. All right, the next one is there is a Hollywood actress. You might be familiar with her. Her name is Eva Longoria. She campaigned
Great
for...
in Desperate Housewives. Go on.
Have you seen the show? Because I never watched
Desperate
the show.
Housewives?
Yeah.
Yeah, we watched it.
It was a big show.
We started watching it after it had been on for a few seasons, so we could kind of watch it at our leisure. But then I don't know. I always feel like if there's 7 seasons, I'm going to watch 6 of them. I don't know why I never watched the last season of anything.
Of any show?
I don't know.
Really?
There's like a closure problem there, maybe.
Like you want to continue in your mind like it never ended?
It does, because it did never end for me.
You would love the movie Never-Ending Story.
The Never-Ending Story. What's Atreyu?
Atreyu and
Falcor.
Bastion.
I need to watch. I got to write that down.
Artax.
That'd be a great one to watch with my kids and to see if it's as frightening as I remember it. Go on.
Yes, it is, to answer your question.
Is it just like being on drugs? I don't even know what the story was other than great sadness.
I tell you what, it is weird. It's a weird movie, and you watch it now, and you're like, this is a bizarre movie. Mm-hmm. It feels foreign. It's based on a German book, and it's it just feels like
y'all
not
are on
something
radio.
different.
I understand that, but if you could have seen the look that Ryan gave me of great judgment, apparently of German literature.
It's based on an old German fantasy book. I'm like, okay, come on, guys. It was made in the 80s. The turtle, the turtle scene is just bizarre.
I just remember it being scary.
The swamp of despair, despond, and then the Artax sinks into the swamp.
Oh my gosh, man. Some
The fire
scenes will
swamp?
really stick with you.
The ROUSS's? Different movie.
I don't even know what you're referring to.
Princess Bride.
Anyway, Eva Longoria.
Yeah, that's right.
She is despondent over the Trump victory and feels anxiety for people stuck in America. She says she's basically not going to live in America anymore for these 4 years.
We have an accord.
And I got to say, kudos
Did she say
to
this
you.
after the election?
Yeah, she said it after the election.
So it's not some super hyped false promise, like a threat, like if you don't vote for the right person, I'm going to leave.
No, but so many celebrities have said that you almost got to give her credit for doing it.
Yeah, see it through.
The thing about celebrities and this whole thing about, I'm not going to live in America anymore, these celebrities, like, I'm going to go summer in Milan. You don't live in America half the time anyway. So this isn't hard for you. You're not making a big sacrifice to go live.
Like you already got a place.
Yeah, I'm going to stay in Argentina for the next, 4 months.
I just want them to make sure that they take all of their investments and money with them when they leave. So if there's prosperity in America because Donald Trump's economy is in play, you don't get to participate in that either.
Yeah, and if the U.S. dollar continues to become stronger, you should not benefit from that.
Yeah.
I got to play my little sounder there. What? I mean, you got to be what?
Yeah. You don't
People
play that sounder,
Longoria?
and I'm like, what?
People are like, what segment is this? That's just a reminder. Real quick, the 5 words or phrases you should never Google to avoid being hacked. These are
Everyone's going to do this now.
oddly specific.
You deserve it if you do, though.
Customer service numbers. Says don't Google them. Find them on the company's website.
I literally Googled today call Southwest Airlines.
I do the same thing.
It's the only one. But ironically, the reason why I Googled it is because there is a scam that's out there. Is it an 800 or is it an 888 number or something like that? And one of them is 100% a scam.
Mm-hmm. So don't Google customer service numbers. Money-making searches, that seems kind of broad, but these are specific. Google Authenticator. It says if you're looking for a Google Authenticator, find the real deal.
What is that?
Don't Google it. It's some...
You're giving us new things to learn to not use.
An app requiring a login to, I don't know.
Okay.
This is very, very deep.
What?
Sports mental toughness questionnaires. Don't do that. And the last one.
This is really helpful.
This is from the New York Post, so I thought, well, people must be doing this.
Just remember, when you share this information with people, you got it here.
The last one, do
on the
not
Mark
Google
Cox
this.
Morning Show.
Do not Google online Viagra. And that's the one that I thought mainly...
Is that what happened to you?
We need to get that out there and make sure people know. Do not Google that. Wait for somebody to send you a really legit advertisement.
For Viagra?
For Viagra.
I'll wait.
In your email that starts with are you experiencing problems in the bedroom? XYXXO. I get these spam messages all the time if you can't tell.
We're going to bank on Tyrus to get this ship corrected here. Is that okay with you? Tyrus on the Annie Price Show next.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know millions of people are getting prescription medications for weight loss, sexual health, better sleep, and more, all online? RexMD.com has made getting these medications fast and easy, with free delivery of the most popular medications right to your door. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship clinically proven options to help with issues like weight loss.
I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
We can also help with insomnia.
I slept through the whole night. It made me feel very well rested and ready to go for the day.
And RexMD can improve your sexual health.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Visit RexMD.com right now to get started. That's RexMD.com.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-700-6898. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-700-6898. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-700-6898, 800-700-6898, or biglou.com.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-5165. 800-499-5165. 800-499-5165.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A potential terror attack averted in Texas. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. The FBI says a 28-year-old suspect arrested last week in Houston wanted to plan a 9/11-style attack and offered support to ISIS.
He expressed a desire to attack overseas. He expressed a desire to attack domestically, according to the FBI.
Fox's Mike Tobin. They also say Anis Saeed had been on the FBI's radar since 2017, interviewed multiple times, but that his behavior tended more toward violence after the October 7th Hamas attacks on Israel. And when they decided to bring him in, he smashed his cell phone on the ground as agents approached.
The cell phone is particularly relevant because a lot of the evidence they're talking about thus far really seems to be communication and pro-ISIS propaganda. A lot of images that were shared, coordinated with a web designer apparently affiliated with ISIS.
Saeed could face up to 20 years in prison if convicted of offering material support to a terrorist organization. As the tight race for a Pennsylvania Senate seat triggers a recount, incumbent Democrat Bob Casey is accusing Republican Dave McCormick of trying to disenfranchise voters in a fight over undated mail ballots. The Republican National Committee accuses Casey of trying to steal the election. McCormick leads by about 30,000 votes. New York Governor Kathy Hochul revives a congestion pricing program for driving into parts of Manhattan, but has lowered the new toll from $15 to $9.
She said that is still more than enough
to secure the $15 billion in MTA funding that congestion pricing was intended to support.
That money will upgrade an aging New York City subway and transit infrastructure. The pricing plan is a first-in-the-nation effort that has been deployed in world cities, but major U.S. cities are watching to see if it can raise money for fiscal upgrades.
Fox's Gernal Scott, a trucking industry trade group, sued over the original plan earlier this year. America is listening to Fox News.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline Nasal Spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
A little breezy and chilly as we go through our Thursday afternoon, looking for a high of 59, though that's pretty close to where we should be. And I think we'll squeeze out some sunshine as the clearing process continues behind our cool front of yesterday. Tonight, chilly, 39 degrees. Friday, sunny and 59. Clear skies for the full moon Friday night. Saturday, sunny and 62 degrees. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
CassinsCan.com. That's CassinsCan.com. Make sure that if you are looking for a vehicle in your near future, it's kind of a crazy spectrum of haste that you might have in a vehicle shopping situation. You get in an accident, you need to replace the car, you're at a fever pitch trying to find the right one for you. This is where Cassins can really be helpful because you need to work with people who you trust. It really comes down to you're handing over a bunch of money or you're taking out a loan. You can do all of that stuff there at Cassins. But when you go to somebody and you're in a hurry, you do have to have a level of trust that the people who you're dealing with are good, honest people. Cassins & Sons, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and Wagoneer, 100% trustworthy, the good people who you need to be dealing with when you want to make that purchase fast. Now, I've been on both sides of this. Also, if you're somebody who's like, gosh, we're driving this vehicle, we're going to drive it till it dies. Could be a couple years, could be 6 months. You never know. You can start having that conversation with a salesperson there that has great longevity at Cassins, and they're going to respect that as well. They're going to respect your budget. They're going to find you the vehicle you're looking for, and they're going to do it on your timeline. If you're in the market for a vehicle, go to Glen Carbon and check out Cassins. They will be happy to serve you there. Make sure you mention the Annie Frey Show as well online at CassinsCan.com.
We've been hearing so long about government mandates all these years. It's coming true unless something changes this year yet. Then maybe it could be stopped. If not, homeowners, if you need an air conditioner, if your air conditioner is old now, get the equipment that you can still get before they say you can't have it. Not to scare you, they scared you. I'm just saying the equipment we have right now, unbelievably better than what you have because your equipment's 15 or 20 or 30 or 40 years old. So if you're looking and if your system's that old or if people are saying it's old and you new, I'm not going to waste your time. But if you call me, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois, the easiest of numbers. All right. So it's not the easiest. I have forgotten the number, even as many times as I put it up. But 314-293-2600 or go to the internet, bartinman.com. That's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Here's another great reason to use the United States Postal Service this season. When sending a package, why venture outside? Ship with USPS for a true holiday ride. Want to stay cozy and warm? There's no need to roam. With free package pickup and labels printed from home. We have over 600,000 employees always in motion. And before you know it, your gift has delivered emotion. Spread the holiday joy this season with USPS's Enhanced Network. Learn more at USPS.com/holidayride.
We know you've got an interesting take on things. You can tell us by clicking the microphone button next to Listen Live when you're on the Odyssey app. Record a short message for us to hear when you tune into 97.1 on the Odyssey app.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what they're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
I should serve as Attorney General of the United States. I'd be easy on marijuana and tough on big tech. Wouldn't that be a nice reversal? If necessary, I'd fire every little kicker at the J. Edgar Hoover building and send them all packing. If you really want to drain the swamp, hire a Florida man.
Matt Gaetz is a bit of a flashback. When was that from?
It was a New York event. It was up in
This cycle?
No, I think it was last cycle.
Last cycle. Matt Gaetz saying, hey, put me in as AG. I'd like to do that job. What did he call them? I don't think we can say it on the air, but...
Blank kickers.
Oh, sugar kickers?
Sugar kickers.
Yeah. It's weird to hear people in rally mode when you're not.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like Ric Flair everywhere you go. I mean, some people are ready for that. There are people right now, truly, still a little bit over a week after the election, who are in turn it to 11 rally mode.
Oh, yeah. I got to tell you, whenever I'm making promos for the station, especially right now, it's like, let's go, making some stuff that's really energized. And you find somebody going, you got music really pumping, and you find somebody who goes, I think it's time we drain the swamp. You're like, no, I want rally mode.
It's time to drain the swamp.
Drain that swamp.
With lots of flashing
I think we
lights
just made our own promo.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that. Don't do that. Not everybody is totally digging the Matt Gaetz appointment. Here's a Florida State's attorney.
And with this pick, Trump is trolling the DOJ and the rule of law, but it could have devastating consequences. You asked about perception. Well, a Republican friend of mine who's also friends with Matt Gaetz told me last night he thought this appointment was the worst thing that's ever happened to the country. And considering a country that went through the Civil War, the Great Depression, and 9/11, that's quite a statement.
Yeah.
That's drastic.
Yes, it is.
There was the Civil War, and then there was the Matt Gaetz pick.
The Matt Gaetz nomination.
I think that is just a little over the top.
It's emblematic of our times, though, to say something so hyperbolic about the news of the day.
Is it possible that he doesn't understand the Civil War?
It's possible.
Like, when people compare other people to Hitler so much, it's like, do you know what he did?
Yes.
Do you understand the gravity of evil that exists with a man like Adolf Hitler? Because when you throw it around there, just like throwing around the word racist all the time, when people actually do disgustingly racist things, people are desensitized to the label of racist. And in my opinion, racism is encouraged to grow because people don't take it seriously anymore, which is a true sin.
There is a clip out there from probably 2 or 3 weeks ago of Trump. It was during the height of Trump as a Nazi and Hitler and fascist and all that. And I don't know who he's talking to, but it was really interesting because he said, he was very somber about it. He said, when I was younger, my dad would not let you really refer to Hitler because he lived through that. And he said, you don't refer to things as like Hitler. Hitler was Hitler. He killed millions of people. He tried to destroy a race of people off the earth. You don't just casually call something Nazi.
Yeah, you can't, because you diminish the absolute evil that existed in that thing. And I wish that we would get back to some common sense surrounding discussions like that. The YouTube live chat poll for today: do you like Matt Gaetz as Trump's pick for Attorney General, yes or no? Brad, how do you feel about this one?
My gut reaction when I saw that, and if you go back and watch it, you can see it on my face too. It's like, what? And then what is he doing? I don't like this. And it wasn't so much that I think that Matt Gaetz would be terrible at this job or whatever, but I just think that there are so many other people that would be way better at it than he would. And I get that there are people out there that are like, oh yeah, but he won't take any guff and blah, 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 blah. There's a bunch of people out there that, like, when I look at positions, AG is not a position that I want a firebrand. I want a doer in that position. I want somebody that's going to work and get things done. I don't want to hear a lot from my AG. I just want him to get things done, and I want my AG not to be making speeches, but to defend the American people from government overreach and that sort of thing. So I just don't think that he would be good at that.
We're in a position here to share our opinions and, just look at a situation, assess it, and share that opinion. And maybe if we had more information on the subject, maybe we would change our opinion on that. Is Matt Gaetz in government for the people he represents or for Matt Gaetz?
That's the big question, isn't it? I had a church group last night, and I'm a little bit newer to this church group, so I was coming in fresh. Some people I didn't always know or talk to. And this was a topic of conversation that everybody wanted to talk about. And I was just kind of listening. And it seems to me like people are really torn because...
What is the topic of conversation?
Matt Gaetz
for
Attorney General, yeah. People seemed very torn, and I had to reflect myself on that and say, I'm kind of torn. Because there are aspects of Matt Gaetz that you go, that's exactly what I want in a politician. Somebody who's willing to go against the grain, who doesn't care about being popular even within his own party, standing up for what he believes at times that makes him a pariah. Some of that stuff I really like. But in Matt Gaetz, I see that some of that stuff seems performative to me and doesn't seem genuine, like he's trying to, for lack of a better way of putting it, raise his profile for speaking events more than he is trying to actually stand up for those things. I don't know, but that's what it seems like. So I'm really torn on this question because part of me goes, you know what, overall, whatever Trump's trying to do, he's trying to control burn from the inside these organizations that have gotten so ridiculously bloated and corrupt. And if Matt Gaetz is a part of that ecosystem, that he's going to come in and change the DOJ, I'm for that. But my visceral reaction to Matt Gaetz is no, because I'm not sure that he's doing it for the country. I would love to be sure, but I'm not. It seems like he's doing it for Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, there are politicians that I feel that's a big question about surrounding Donald Trump. Are you in this for Trump? Because that's a huge allegation towards him from the people who don't subscribe to supporting him. They say all Donald Trump is in it for himself, that's all he cares about. And we on this side go, what are you talking about? It's a line he says all the time, like, I could be on the most beautiful beaches, but I'm not. I'd rather be with you here today.
Yeah.
And we just see it from a different perspective. It blows my mind when people are like, all Donald Trump cares about is himself. I'm like, no, this is not for Trump. Trump came out, just ask Dave Chappelle. He's like, Trump, when he was running against Hillary Clinton, was like, I know how to beat all the systems. And I do it. And Trump looked at Hillary and says, your people do it too, but you're not willing to admit it or change it for the people who are your buddies. I know how to do it, and I'm willing to go in and change it to make it better. And people understand that about Donald Trump. Not everybody does. When you get into Congress people, you don't see them as much. You don't learn about them as much. And I just look at Matt Gaetz, and he hasn't convinced me that he's out there for something more than just himself.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean he couldn't do the job. That doesn't mean if he were to be confirmed that he would be a failure. I'm just very skeptical of it, which is why on the poll today, do you like Matt Gaetz as Trump's pick for Attorney General? I'm a no. But just because I'm a no doesn't mean I'm going to throw a freaking hissy fit about it and, I'm melting. That's not happening. Do you like him? Do you like the pick?
I'm so torn.
Pick. Choose.
I'll say no, but
you're open.
Yes, I'm very open to the fact that I'm not Donald Trump. I was not just elected by a mandate to do this kind of thing. It's funny because I think Mike Elam was filling in for you, Annie, one time on this show, so you wouldn't have been a part of this conversation. But we were talking about the kind. I mean, it may have been off air. I think it was probably both on and off air. We were talking about the types of politicians that you like. And for me, they need to do two things. And it seems like we always kind of pick one or the other. They need to be able to go in there and rabble-rouse and be an outsider and not get caught up in the machine, whether that be in state government or the national government, whatever. Don't get caught up in the machine. Realize you're there to represent people for the good of the people. But then secondly, you can't just be against everything. You have to be a part of governing. So there's really two tracks that you have to be able to accomplish. And oddly, I think Marco Rubio kind of is that guy. I was saying this yesterday. It's the kind of politician, I said to Mike, that you want him to go in and really quickly get you your tax return and also ask, why are we paying taxes? It's like you need both of those things. And right now, my concern about the Trump picks, and this could very easily go away, is that right now they're the kind of people who are questioning the system. I just want to make sure that they're kind of people who can also run those systems once they reform them.
And, if Donald Trump knows something about it and sees something that we don't because he's closer to the situation, it'll be on their job to prove that they were right. That's just kind of how this goes.
Yep.
Donald Trump won the election. He has every right to pick and choose who he wants to nominate. The Senate has the right to confirm them or to participate in the recess nomination, a recess appointment, I should say, way of doing things. If you're curious about that process, we had a great conversation with Hans von Spakovsky at 12:25 on the show. You can listen to us on the Odyssey app. The podcasts are there. You can also go to anniefreyshow.com/podcast and see the player that has all of the audio in there as we upload it throughout the course of the day. I just don't see how I don't see this one all the way thinking it's going to go all the way through. That's my prediction. I don't make a ton of predictions, but I feel like this one isn't going to see it all the way through.
Tell you one that you called, and I'll give you credit for it because I disagreed, is that Joe Biden would not make it all the way through. Although I guess he did make it all the way through so far his presidency, but he did not become the candidate.
I never said he wasn't going to make it through the presidency. I said he wasn't going to be the nominee.
Yeah.
But I said I was convinced for years that he was not going to be the nominee. Why? Because he's not capable of doing the job now. How do you persuade the American people that you're going to be able to do the job for 4 more years? Like, how much do you think people hate Trump? So I was very convinced of that. And it really got to the point where I was like, well, maybe I was going to be wrong about this.
I mean, it was about as close as you could possibly get.
Mid-July.
Yeah.
July 13th, or was that when Trump was shot? Everything happened at once when I was on freaking vacation.
Yeah.
But I have also said that and this could still possibly come to fruition, except for the smile on Joe Biden's face. He's never looked more alive than he does right now.
It's so funny.
He's so happy. and he looks like at peace. I'm pretty certain that Joe and Jill Biden are guarding every minute left of their presidency with everything that they have.
Yes. They're not going to bow out.
Kamala Harris wants to run for governor in California. If she wants to run for that governorship when Gavin Newsom is out, get a very moderate Republican to run in that race, because that is a winnable. You get another Arnold Schwarzenegger in that position, somebody that people love and would be willing to vote for. Kamala's dug that hole deep enough that you could just maybe take an extra shovel or two and finish the job, and then California could maybe have some common sense once again.
Rob Schneider.
Okay. I'm for it.
He's the nominee.
Making coffees. Yeah. I'm okay with that. I'm not in California, but boy, I'd take Rob Schneider as the governor of the state of Illinois in a heartbeat.
Heck yeah.
Speaking of, you guys hear about that ruling that came out here recently? A judge is this is a very obvious reason why I'm having Katie and Jesse Johnson from STS Armory in here, because the judge has issued a ruling. There's a stay on it. There's going to be appeals. You know that when these things are happening in the court system in the state of Illinois surrounding your Second Amendment rights, that these are just taking the very slow paces towards the Supreme Court. But what was the initial law that was put into place? What was the challenge to it? And where are we in this process? Many of you want to know this question. And if you're in Missouri or anywhere else outside of the state of Illinois right now, if this makes it to the Supreme Court, this absolutely affects you. So we're going to have Katie and Jesse Johnson from STS Armory come join us in studio next, and we're going to talk about that. Plus, I just got my conceal and carry license renewal class done, qualified. Very excited to have done that. So we'll talk to them about that as well. Come say hi in the YouTube live chat, sts-armory.com if you want to check out that website at the break here. Lots more to come. Vote in the YouTube live chat poll. Do you like Matt Gaetz as Trump's pick for Attorney General? I'll tell you right now, it's 57-43 split, but I'm not going to tell you which way. So if you have a thought on this, if you like the pick or if you hate it, you better go cast your vote in the YouTube live chat poll right now. We'll be right back.
You're listening to The Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
The Retirement Advisory Group online at retirementkey.com. Retirement is upon you. You've been thinking about it. You've been working hard for it. I mean, let's be honest. If you're working, you're occasionally thinking about retiring, but you are super close. Once you've reached your mid to late 50s or your early 60s, you might have even retired already. You need to make the smart move and call Thomas Helbig, Bob and Tammy Kershaw at the Retirement Advisory Group at 314-993-9494. 314-993-9494. Help them learn about you so they can help you learn about them. You sit down and you schedule an appointment with them, and it doesn't cost you anything to sit down and listen to what they have to say or for them to listen to what you have to say. And then you start learning about those important moves that you need to make to ensure that your retirement is protected. The Retirement Advisory Group has never had a client lose a penny, and they are there to guide you through the process to make sure that you become one of those very successful retirees as well. 314-993-9494, retirementkey.com.
Attention, Missouri residents in need of care at home. If you have Medicaid and need assistance with daily activities, you can receive free in-home care from a loved one, funded by Medicaid with no cost to you. Freedom Care, Missouri's #1 home care provider, gives you the power to choose who provides your care, and they get paid instantly. Imagine your daughter, son, a close relative, or trusted friend helping you with cooking, transportation, laundry, and other activities in your own home. You get the help you need, and your caregiver gets paid instantly after their shift. Freedom Care has over 5,000 five-star Google reviews and is #1 in Missouri for in-home care. If you have Medicaid and want great care from a loved one that's 100% free to you, go to freedomcare.com or call 314-557-3027. That's 314-557-3027. 314-557-3027.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
At Onder Law, we deliver big judgments for the little guy. Onder Law takes on the biggest industries and holds them accountable. Call today for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Outdoor Living Redefined, brought to you by Lakeside Renovation and Design, your trusted partner in crafting stunning decks, inviting screened rooms, and elegant porch overhangs. Imagine enjoying a crisp morning coffee on your beautifully designed deck or hosting gatherings in a spacious screened room. Lakeside turns your vision into reality. Our skilled craftsmen use top-notch materials to create spaces that stand up to the elements and stand out in style. Elevate your lifestyle with Lakeside's outdoor living expertise. Visit our showroom or call Lakeside Renovation and Design today.
At Neovitin, we are all about supporting your nutrition, and that's why we are excited about our new Neovitin Omega-3 supplement. Neovitin Omega-3 is formulated with 1,200 milligrams of omega-3 fatty acids to help support healthy hearts. Our high-quality omega-3 fish oils are sourced from wild-caught fish and tested for heavy metals. With our convenient monthly subscription, you can get Neovitin Omega-3 delivered right to your door every month with no long-term obligations. Support your daily nutrition and sign up for a Neovitin Omega-3 subscription at neovitin.com today.
Financial health is more than just really the investments. You have to look at tax consequences. You have to think about legacy planning or generational planning or your healthcare options. Those all go together with your financial health.
Join Matt Goolsby for Retire Hour to hear his team in finance, healthcare, estate, and taxes discuss changes in law, strategic planning, and answer listener questions. Submit your questions to be answered live on air at retirehour.com. Retire Hour, Sundays at 7 a.m., right here on KFTK.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. 9 out of 10 homes are under-insulated. Is yours? Did you know that there's an R value associated with insulation? To find out your R value or for a free insulation estimate, visit aircomfortservice.com.
Used to keep it cool, used to be a fool, all about the bounce in my step. Watch it on the news, what you gonna do? I could hit refresh and forget. Used to keep it cool. Should I keep it light, stay out of the fight? No one's gonna listen to me. If I write a song, preaching what is wrong.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Should I keep it light?
Follow Annie on X at Annie Frey Show.
We are getting new reaction to the decision just made on Illinois' assault weapons ban. A downstate federal judge ruling tonight that the ban is unconstitutional. The plaintiffs had argued that the ban is for weapons that they say are commonly used for self-defense purposes. In a statement tonight, Governor J.B. Pritzker is saying in part that the Protect Illinois Communities Act makes Illinois a safer place for everyone. The governor adding, quote, "We look forward to the Attorney General filing an immediate appeal." The judge gave the state 30 days to file that appeal.
So that is a little bit of a breakdown, but I'm going to be honest. When I hear all this legalese surrounding these types of things, I get kind of lost, and I don't understand exactly, like, where were we? Where are we now? So we get experts in, the people who I go to whenever I have a question about any of this stuff. Katie can tell you, I text her, I'm like, so tell me more about what this means. And Katie and Jesse Johnson, the owners at STS Armory, they're located in Pontoon Beach, Illinois, and they've got a lot of exciting things on the horizon for their shop there. Online at sts-armory.com. Katie, Jesse, thanks for being in here today. It's good to have you.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for having us.
I just saw them this weekend. I qualified my concealed carry renewal. I qualified, right? I completed it. So I'm looking forward to getting that renewal all completed. They're so wonderful when it comes to guiding you through all of this stuff that, again, the legalese of things you might not understand, they know it front to back. So, Jesse, you're the guy who I go to for all of the things that Illinois has specifically carved out for people who want to exercise their Second Amendment rights here. Can you tell us what the original law banned or outlawed that has gotten us to the point where we are right now?
The most common things that people processed with this was the AR-15s, AK-47s, shotguns. There were semi-automatic that had like a pistol grip to help with recoil.
Is that something? I mean,
it's very common.
And what is the people that don't understand guns? They see these are scary guns, which all guns can be scary if you don't know what you're doing and if you're on the wrong end of it.
Yeah.
What does a pistol grip on a shotgun do?
A pistol grip on a shotgun allows you to hold it a lot easier and absorb the recoil in your hand rather than just the shoulder. A lot of turkey hunters, it's the most popular turkey hunting style of shotgun, was one with the pistol grip because those turkey loads are pretty heavy.
Is that something that a lot of other states have banned?
No.
It's just like pioneers here in Illinois?
We're first on that.
What is the, whether you agree with it or not, but what is the reasoning behind something like that pistol grip on a shotgun? Like, why that specifically?
Typically, the reason to have one is because you have better control over it. You can hold it easier, you absorb the recoil easier, you just have better control over handling and shooting the gun. You're less likely to drop it. All those things help out with shooting the shotgun.
So if a bad guy has a gun and is doing bad things because they're a bad guy, then they have more control over their gun as well.
Technically, yes, if they knew what they're doing.
Yes. But if you are a good guy who is turkey hunting and you're trying to make yourself more apt at it.
Or home defense.
Yes, true. So we can always get into those conversations as well. So you said the AK-47s, the AR-15s, the pistol grips on shotguns. What other things?
Magazines that hold more than 15 rounds for a pistol, which very common guns out there. Their self-defense guns hold 17 or 16 or even 18 rounds. Pistols with threaded barrels, which in Illinois really doesn't affect us because we don't do suppressors in Illinois. But it does affect a lot of the target guns, the little plinking 22s that people love to take to the range. The vast majority of those have threaded barrels. So there's a whole list of handguns that very, very popular handguns that have a threaded barrel on it and aren't able to be sold in Illinois. It's considered an assault weapon currently.
We're speaking with Jesse Johnson, and his wife Katie is in here as well. They are the owners of STS Armory, online at sts-armory.com. So in order to make a safer Illinois, if you ask the governor, they said you can't have these anymore. What happened, or you can't buy these?
Can't buy them anymore if you're a normal citizen, but law enforcement and retired law enforcement can.
Oh, do they have lobbyist groups? Anyway. So if you had one of those things, what happened?
You were supposed to register it by January 1st of this year.
And when they made that the law, how'd that go?
Not the best. The state estimated there was roughly 50% of the FOID holders had this type of firearm and 2% registered something.
Oh. Ryan, were you one of them?
I can't confirm or deny any of that.
The government can now.
The government can. Anyway.
You said only 2%?
Roughly 2%.
Wow.
2%.
That's higher than I thought it would be, but still.
And those 2% are very good law-abiding citizens.
I will also say there's a lot of people don't even know they even own an assault weapon. We've had customers come in that are goose hunters, snow goose hunters, and they didn't know theirs was an assault weapon. They had no clue until 3 weeks ago.
Jesse, I get questions. I actually got a question just because of the industry that we're in from a family member this morning. Had no idea you guys were coming in, but he was asking about this judge in East St. Louis and this ban and how does this work. And then I, of course, had to go ask Brad because he's way more knowledgeable about these things. But do people approach you because they're also confused? Like, tell me what's going on here.
So that's our phones as soon as they so.
I want to talk about the decision too.
As soon as the decision was dropped, our phones lit up. I got a notification that something happened, and I called Katie in the room and said, "Okay, let me look over this before we start answering questions. I need to read through this. At least a summary of the ruling is 168 pages."
So we talked a little bit about this at our renewal class that was on Sunday. And if you're interested in getting your conceal and carry license, if you're interested in renewing it, if you're interested in getting a FOID card, if you don't know what a FOID card is, but you want to be a gun owner and be able to buy ammunition and stuff in Illinois, all of these things, you go to STS Armory. They're going to be able to walk you through that system. But you were talking about the ban as it was levied, and then this judge here finally issued this massive, long, wordy ruling. What happened between the time that the initial law was put into place, and they said, "Oh, this is the new law of the land in the state of Illinois about what you can own," and so on and so forth. What has happened between then leading up to this ruling?
So that April, following the law going into effect in January, the same judge who gave us this ruling did a preliminary injunction, which basically paused the law. It was paused for roughly 6 days, and then the Seventh Circuit Appellate Court suspended his injunction, stayed it, so the law went back into effect, basically pending the court case.
This court case.
This court case to be decided. So a lot of legal going back and forth, preliminary questions, and paperwork back and forth. Both sides submitted, I believe, over 10,000 pages of evidence for the case. The case was heard last month in East St. Louis, and Judge McGuinn sided with the plaintiffs, which is the pro-gun, sided with the plaintiffs that the law in its entirety was unconstitutional, not just specific parts, but the entirety of the law was unconstitutional and could not be separated into separate sections because it is so unconstitutional.
When this law was being put together, I was watching, you had pointed me in the direction of some YouTube channels, some people who are on YouTube who were covering this with great detail. But what I gathered with the creation of this specific law, a lot of times people who are pro-gun in Springfield will try to pare back as much as they can to make it not such an egregious law. That this time they took a different approach and said, do whatever you want.
Do whatever you want, because make it so bad that it's easier to fight in court.
So the egregious nature of the law, it was permitted to be that way intentionally by the pro-gun people, so it would fare better for the pro-gun people in court.
Right. We didn't go asking for an inch when they were going to take a mile. We just let them pass what they wanted. In fact, they passed it in the middle of the night.
Yes.
They passed it technically by Illinois illegally, but the courts won't deal with that. So it has to be read 3 times.
Pause. Let me imagine what that would be like. Okay, I'm good.
So it's supposed to be read 3 times. It was only read once.
Yeah.
They called it a shell bill, and it's a mess in Illinois. But that's how they did it, and it was signed the afternoon after it passed, went into effect immediately upon signature of the governor.
So it goes to this judge, and he says the entirety of the bill is unconstitutional. Hooray! Everybody gets to go out and buy ARs now, and you can load up, right?
It is unconstitutional, but the judge put a 30-day stay on the ruling going into effect.
What's that mean?
Basically, his ruling will be in effect in 30 calendar days.
Why wait 30 days?
It's common to do that on large cases, especially at the circuit court level. It also allows a couple, getting to some, not going too deep into legalese, it allows us some opportunities further down the road because we know the state's going to appeal it. That's without a doubt. In fact, the afternoon after the ruling was out, the state had already filed an appeal.
Who do they file an appeal with?
The Seventh Circuit Appellate Court. So the federal court. This has nothing to do with Illinois courts. This is all federal court. So the end game is the Supreme Court.
But then
What's the Supreme Court look like these days?
Yeah, the whole process is kind of the point, though, because it just locks everything up for such a long time.
The process is the mechanism.
Yeah. And what's the timeline for? I mean, do you have any idea?
Currently, no. There's we should see something. The court's kind of in a limbo. It's that whole we're getting close to taking a Thanksgiving break. We may announce something. I expect something first couple weeks of December to set a timeline. That's if the Seventh Circuit takes it up, because it all depends on whose desk it lands on there. The Seventh Circuit could just basically say, okay, after 30 days, it goes into effect.
And they could not take the case.
They could not take the case. They could not take the initial appeal from the state to basically pause the ruling. They could say the ruling is going to go into effect, but we will have a court date in June or in May or in whenever next year to actually hear the state's arguments over this. So it's not a set thing that it is completely paused. It is depending on whose desk it lands on at the Seventh Circuit.
So after those 30 days are up, the appellate court can take up the case?
They could, yes.
They can say no?
They could say no. They would have to. They could say no. We're not taking this case. We don't believe that.
And if they say no, then the judge's ruling is in effect.
In effect,
and
yes.
we are free people again.
Again, yep. The state would have more mechanism to appeal it again at the Seventh Circuit appellate level, but they could. There's a couple ways. There's 3 or 4 ways it could go, but more than likely, the Seventh Circuit's going to either ignore it and just say, okay, yeah, it's the ruling stands, but we will have a hearing on this date with both sides.
So then the ruling, the overturning of the law by Judge McGuinn here locally, is there any way for the appellate court to say, no, we're going to take up this case?
Oh, yeah.
And your ruling does not go into effect?
Correct. They can do that.
Until they're done with the case.
Until they're done with the case. If the appellate court steps in like that, that gives us grounds because we have what they call both merit and finding of fact in the 168 pages that McGuinn posted and all the evidence that was submitted to go to the Supreme Court and ask for an injunction until all matters of appeal have been exhausted, which the Supreme Court's been very good about handing those out.
Yeah, they're very, like, everything needs to be exhausted before they take a minute of the Supreme Court's time.
Yes.
Do you have a thought on what's likely to happen here?
It's kind of flipping a coin at this point.
Okay.
It's all depending on the desk it lands on, and it all depends.
When you say that at the Seventh Appellate Court District, what does that mean?
It means that they will be sent to a judge. The judge will review it. He may ask for other judges' opinion in his review or his or her review. The composition currently of the Seventh Circuit, it leans more our way. We had a bad panel in the preliminary injunction, and one of the judges from the bad panel has since retired.
Mm-hmm.
So the composition of the court leans more pro-firearm than they do anti-firearm. So my hope, if it does land in the Seventh Circuit appellate, says, yes, we're going to hear this, I would hope for a full, what they call en bloc, the entire court review.
Does anybody get to have influence on whose desk it lands on?
Not really. It's kind of a first in, first out, whoever's got an open slot.
Luck of the draw.
Luck of the draw.
This has to make you guys' job so hard. You're trying to sell a product, and you're like, I don't know. I mean,
so you guys had people who had purchased these firearms and hadn't received them, and then the law went into effect. I feel like I remember having that conversation with you. Do you have people who have paid for firearms that they haven't been able to take?
Oh, absolutely. We have several who have stuff hanging out waiting for their rights to come back.
I'm trying to be one of those people. I'm like, just tell me when.
Oh, we have lots of people who have shopping lists. They're like, the
Yeah.
minute it goes, let
We
us
want it.
know. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's another important reason why, if you're in Illinois, if you're interested in owning a firearm in Illinois, I want you to get to know Katie and Jesse at STS Armory, because they are at the very forefront of what is taking place. And you know, the thing I've always appreciated, you guys are very understanding of what the law is, Jesse and Katie, both of you, so that you can make sure that everything you're doing is lawful, but that you are flexing your muscles to the fullest extent you can in Illinois for the Second Amendment and for people who want to be law-abiding citizens who are equipped to protect themselves, to protect their homes, to be able to hunt, whatever the issue is for owning a firearm. So is there anything else you wanted to say about the court case before? We're going to take a break, and I want to ask you some questions about self-defense and get Ryan and Brad in here too. But is there anything else that people should know? Is there any, I mean, if it's in the court system, there's not really like phone calls that can be made, I would assume.
No, phone calls don't influence judges. In fact, sometimes it has the opposite effect. That there's been kind of a chilling of the Seventh Circuit to the state of Illinois because there was an accusation by a lawmaker that recently a judge up in Chicago in the federal court issued a ruling against the state, and they basically pointed fingers. Basically, it's your fault because these people were killed with this because you made this ruling. And that really ticks off the judges.
Yeah.
That makes them not friendly next time they see them in court.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see if the Constitution still applies to the people of Illinois, and hopefully the court system will get it right. Thank God that would you say the likely end of this is in the Supreme Court?
The likely end of it's in the Supreme Court. Now, if it gets the one caveat with this is if the Seventh Circuit Appellate Court strikes down the law also and supports McGuinn's ruling, I do not see this going to the Supreme Court. The state does not want that.
But then the Second Amendment still wins.
Second Amendment still wins. I would like it to go to the Supreme Court because you have permanence. You have the next time they go to pass one of these laws, well, we already have a Supreme Court decision with this state in this kind of manner. We should have at least an immediate injunction until this gets decided.
Was it a New York case that was about bump stocks and all that stuff? Or was that, am I confused?
That was, I believe.
What was the New York one?
The New York was the Bruin decision over having a firearm outside your home for transportation, which trickled into conceal and carry, which trickled into a lot of things, and actually literally changed about 15 states' laws.
Does the breadth, the wild liberties that I was going to say taken, but actually kind of taken of this bill, since it's such a massive albatross of infringement on Second Amendment rights, should it go to the Supreme Court? Would it affect nationally?
It would affect
a lot of things.
It would affect nationally. There's a case out of Maryland right now we're racing to the court. Who's going to get there first?
Okay.
There's a chance that they may be given cert here in January, and that would be interesting because there's a high chance if they are given cert, they may roll our case into the Supreme Court at the same time because the law is so similar, so similarly worded, and so similarly restrictive that we may be having both of our cases heard simultaneously in front of the court at the same time.
But it has to go through the appellate court first.
No. The Supreme Court can pull a case out of anywhere. Once it has been in front of a judge at the circuit level, they can take that case immediately to themselves.
Let's take a quick break. If you have questions that you want me to throw at Katie and Jesse, state of Illinois experts here when it comes to Second Amendment rights, get on the Annie Frey YouTube channel and leave your comments in the chat. We're going to talk to them about self-defense when we come back, and also a little bit of prepper stuff because I'm kind of into it. And so Katie and Jesse in studio with us right now. They're in Pontoon Beach, Illinois. There are a lot of really exciting things in store at STS Armory. We're going to talk about those as well when we come back. Don't go away.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Frey Show.
Hi, this is Thomas Helbig with the Retirement Advisory Group.
Hi, I'm Bob Kershaw. As a family business, we are committed to protecting your retirement, whether you're nearing retirement or already retired. What if it were possible to protect you from market downturns without having to make an emotional decision to buy or sell? What if you could take advantage of a strategy that would automatically take you out of harm's way during the bad years and position you for the growth opportunity during the good years?
The secret is in linking safely to the market without putting your principal at risk. By linking to the market instead of owning the market, you can participate safely on autopilot and lock in your gains without creating a taxable event. Go online at retirementkey.com for a no-obligation retirement review. We'll teach you the strategy that has helped our clients retire with confidence for the past 38 years. And just for coming in, you'll get a copy of our latest edition book, Your Key to a Worry-Free Retirement. So go online at retirementkey.com. That's retirementkey.com.
Now, your Live Nation lineup.
Don't miss these upcoming shows. Sebastian Maniscalco, Enterprise Center, December 14th. Trans-Siberian Orchestra, Enterprise Center, December 18th. Brooks and Dunn, Enterprise Center, April 25th. Thomas Rhett, Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, May 29th. And Parker McCollum, Chaffetz Arena, February 14th.
For tickets and info, hit up livenation.com.
It's been about a half an hour from now. It'll be 24 hours since the Matt Gaetz news was hitting yesterday. So now that you've had a chance to really think about it for 24 hours, do you like the Matt Gaetz pick as Trump's pick for Attorney General? That's our YouTube live chat poll today. Let us know. I can tell you from the results at the beginning of this hour, they were pretty close. So let us know, and we'll see which way this thing swings. 148, this time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
Choosing the right candidates for any office can be difficult.
My office has lots of drama.
My office has its ups and downs.
I share my office. But no matter what kind of office you have, one thing's for certain. If you're hiring, you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful matching technology finds the most qualified candidates for your roles fast, and you can invite your top choices to apply. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So, for any kind of office,
I'm really going places in my office.
My office has everything you could ever want.
count on ZipRecruiter to find the right candidates for it. Try ZipRecruiter for free today at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter.com/radio.
AirComfortService.com is the website that you can go look at right now, and always be aware of the amazing savings that are available to you if you need to improve, replace, whatever your HVAC system. When it comes to rebates, great financing options, cool cash rebates that are like double right now. AirComfortService.com for ventilation in your home. I want to remind you about the AeroSeal duct sealing that they do. They came into my home and did this procedure, and it dramatically impacted the ability of our HVAC system to push heated and cooled air through our house evenly. If you have ductwork in your home that isn't fully sealed, then the air seeps out of it as it moves through your home, which would make the, second floor where maybe your bedrooms are, like our house, not heat and cool as quickly as they should, which makes your furnace, your air conditioner run a lot more, costs you money. Reach out to Air Comfort Service and ask them about an AeroSeal duct sealing. It's the same thing that Annie had. You can tell them that and see how they might be able to help you in your home. 314-513-0091. AirComfortService.com.
You've got thoughts. Did you know you also have a microphone? Listen to 97.1 on the Odyssey app and click the microphone to leave a voice message. Whatever's on your mind, let us know by clicking the microphone in the Odyssey app.
Why you ever chose me?
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. We've got Katie and Jesse Johnson in here from STS Armory. If you go online to sts-armory.com, you're going to be able to learn all about this amazing it's really an asset for you as a Second Amendment supporter in the state of Illinois. They're in Pontoon Beach, Illinois. Katie, I want to get you into the conversation here because there are a lot of exciting things coming for STS Armory. What do you want to let people know that's right there on the horizon for you guys?
So we are actually in the process of building a brand new building, 2.4 miles south of where we are at, and we hope to be in there by Christmas, praying that all the other things go well.
Yeah.
But if not, by the end of the year, we will be into our new building.
This Christmas.
This Christmas.
Ooh.
How will it compare to what you have right now for people who have been there before?
So right now it'll be the same size building that we're in, just better layout. Unfortunately, the building we're in right now, we lease, and our landlord has decided to put it up for sale. So we kind of were forced into an option of, what do we do?
Yeah.
Being in the Second Amendment industry, it's not always the most friendly to us. If a new owner decided to kick us out, we would have nowhere to do business. So we decided to move forward.
Well, good for you. Yes. That's really exciting. I know that you guys are always looking forward to the next thing. Your conceal and carry classes, among other classes that you have. I just finished my renewal, went to STS Armory in Pontoon Beach. My husband and I both completed our renewal classes for our conceal and carry. You'll have places at this new location for these classes as well?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. So we'll actually have a little bit bigger of a classroom than we currently have. No live fire range at this time. That is phase 2. But right now it's just going to be a better laid out store.
What kind of classes are you offering right now? I know people can go to sts-armory.com to learn about them, but what would you like to highlight?
Right now we have concealed carry classes. Our renewal classes are a little bit slim pickings. They are completely full until December right now.
Okay.
We're working on trying to squeeze as much as we can into that schedule. And then we also have a free seminar coming up in Collinsville that is a Ready, Set, Protect, where we will discuss holiday times and shopping and traveling and moving around the area, and just how to keep yourself safe. Even if a firearm isn't for you, different ways to protect yourself.
Yeah, I want to add to that. Let me look at. Oh, I just got this box of pepper spray. Don't come at me. When I was in the renewal class, Jesse was teaching it. You were talking, in a renewal class, you go over the things that you learn a lot more in depth. Thank you. In a first time course, you go over a lot of that stuff in the renewal, and then of course you have to qualify by actually firing your firearm at a target. But you were talking about this is pepper spray, Jesse, and the thing that you sold me on is, of course, this is non-lethal force, but this pepper spray is more than just pepper spray. It's got something else in it.
It has a UV marking dye in it, so you spray the attacker. They're dyed with a dye that is clear and invisible to the naked eye until somebody holds up essentially a black light up to them, and they're going to glow. They're going to be stained for about 7 days.
But they don't know it.
They have no clue.
Wow.
So you get attacked by somebody, they get arrested. I didn't do it.
Or they get away.
Yeah.
And you name them later, sometime within 7 days, and the assurance is they've been marked. They hold a black light up. Yep, they were definitely there.
Is that admissible in court?
Yes.
They should not hide at a rave.
No, they should not hide at a rave or glow bingo.
Wait a minute.
We're just here to get new uniforms for the cheerleading squad. Why are you glowing?
That was my Friday and Saturday.
So
rave, then glow bingo.
I was really excited about this because you said you have to be 18 to purchase them.
Correct.
But you don't have to be 18 to use them.
No.
Or to carry them.
Correct.
So if you have, I would not just relegate it to females, but if you have kids who are responsible enough, I have taught my older children how to use a firearm. My husband and I have together, but they obviously aren't carrying one. But if they're in a position where they might need to protect themselves and they're responsible and you've deemed them that it is a legal thing for them to have and to utilize. How much were these per?
$12.95.
So I mean, for under $13, you can have this thing on you and protect yourself. And I just thought, well, that's absolutely necessary. So I just made this purchase. I want to read something here before we get to a couple of questions, and I'm going to read this real quick because Jesse handed this to me. This is the end of Judge McGlynn's ruling.
Yes.
This is a quote. Sadly, there are those who seek to usher in a sort of post-Constitution era where the citizens' individual rights are only as important as they are convenient to a ruling class, seeking ancient laws that may partner well with a present-day infringement on a right proclaimed in the Bill of Rights without reading it in conjunction with the aforementioned history is nonsense. The statute of Northampton cannot in the least bit be used to vex the rights of Illinois citizens in the 21st century to keep and bear arms. The oft-quoted phrase that, quote, no right is absolute, end quote, does not mean that fundamental rights precariously subsist subject to the whims, caprice, or appetite of government officials or judges. Stephen P. McGlynn, U.S. District Judge. Well said.
Amazing.
Yeah, I read that for Brad. Fantastic. Thank you for bringing that in.
That's just a small sample of some of what he wrote in there. It's
how many pages again?
168, and every page is something that's just like wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
How many times have you read this thing? More than once?
Oh, yes.
Ryan, real quick, you want to fire off a question or two from our audience?
I'm going to mix these two together because they're about the same topic, but a little bit different. So the first one is from RSG, says, is there concealed carry reciprocity between Illinois and Missouri? Then the second one from Joseph says, how excited are you about the proposed national reciprocity on CCW? Please explain first, because some of these terms I'm not even that familiar with.
Okay, so technically with Missouri and Illinois, there is not reciprocity, there is recognition. Using, lawyers use words and we have to use those. Missouri recognizes an Illinois conceal and carry permit. Yes, they have permitless carry in Missouri, but they recognize Illinois. They recognize any other state's permit. That's how there's 27 states that recognize our permit. Illinois does not recognize Missouri's permit in public, but they do recognize Missouri's permit while you're in your vehicle.
Okay.
So if somebody's transporting through Missouri and they're a Missouri resident with a Missouri carry permit, they will recognize that, But when they step outside, they got to stay in there.
Anything else that you wanted to ask?
Those were the main ones, and I know we're short on time.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. STS-armory.com. Katie and Jesse, thanks for being in here today.
Thanks for having us.
I'm just being honest. You are my husband's favorite people. I am number 2. Katie and Jesse tied for first at STS Armory. If you want to, I encourage you, especially leading into the holiday season, I would really recommend for the right people, you know how to make responsible decisions, but this next generation pepper spray, this is a great stocking stuffer. You can go into, think about things you can get this holiday season for people who you love that are really meaningful. Katie and Jesse can guide you through those whole processes. Guys, thanks for being in here today.
Thanks for having us.
In Pontoon Beach, online at sts-armory.com.
Ever since you rescued me, you gave my heart a song to sing. I'm living for the world to see.
CiviaLaw.com, SIVIA law.com, 833-995-WILL. If you are needing to get your affairs in order so you don't have to worry about them, I think a lot of times this kind of hits us when somebody we love maybe loses mom or dad or grandma or grandpa, and then you start hearing about words like probate and heirs and trusts and trustees, and what does it all mean? You don't have to know what it all means, but you do need to sit down with Civia Law to make sure that they can educate you on how to have your affairs in order. Do you have children that are dependents? You need to do this like yesterday. 833-995-WILL. Make sure that if you have powers of attorney that are old and you want to update them, you go to Civia Law and they can guide you through this entire process with confidence and ease. They have 5 offices on both sides of the river. You can check them out easily to learn about getting your will in order today. You can find them online at civialaw.com.
KFTK FM Florissant. From the Under Law Injury Lawyers, GetJim.com studio.
That's GetJim.com.
97.1 FM Talk. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
A Trump nominee under scrutiny. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News. U.S. senators want information from an ethics probe of the Attorney General nominee. The probe expected to end with his resignation.
Senator Dick Durbin, who chairs the Senate Judiciary Committee, where the nomination for Attorney General would go for hearings as part of the confirmation process, says he wants the House Ethics Committee to preserve and share the ethics investigation report into now former Congressman Matt Gaetz.
Make no mistake. This information could be relevant to the question of Mr. Gaetz' confirmation as the next Attorney General of the United States and our constitutional responsibility to advise and consent.
Gaetz is under investigation surrounding allegations he engaged in sexual misconduct with a minor and illicit drug use, which he denies.
Fox's Ryan Schmelz on Capitol Hill. Gaetz announced his resignation yesterday after being nominated. Fox News learning the ethics panel does plan to meet tomorrow. A ban on gender-affirming care for minors is upheld in Indiana.
The Indiana law that bans giving transgender youth puberty blockers or hormone treatments can remain in effect. A federal appeals court panel ruling the law does not violate the constitutional rights of transitioning youth, their parents, or medical providers. A spokesperson for the American Civil Liberties Union representing the plaintiffs says they are weighing their options for an appeal. The U.S. Supreme Court is preparing to hear a challenge to a similar law in Tennessee. That decision will likely determine the future of gender-affirming care bans in 24 states.
Fox's Jack Callahan. The FBI says a terror suspect arrested in Houston last week was interviewed before and on their radar since 2017, frequently viewing ISIS literature online.
He held a deep affinity for high-ranking ISIS personnel and even ordered custom propaganda.
Special agent in charge Douglas Williams, the suspect's charged with attempting to provide material support to ISIS. America's listening to Fox News.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Saline from Vicks.
Sinex Saline nasal spray?
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Saline instantly clears everyday congestion associated with colds and year-round allergies with a gentle, ultra-fine mist that's no mess and easy to control.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it.
Enjoy life's important moments without congestion. Try Sinex Saline from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
The holidays mean more travel, more shopping, more time online, and more personal info in more places that could expose you more to identity theft. But LifeLock monitors millions of data points per second. If your identity is stolen, our US-based restoration specialists will fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Don't face drained accounts, fraudulent loans, or financial losses alone. Get more holiday fun and less holiday worry with LifeLock. Save up to 40% your first year with promo code NEWS. Visit lifelock.com. Terms apply.
Air Comfort Service, heating, cooling, and insulation, weather.
A little breezy and chilly as we go through our Thursday afternoon, looking for a high of 59, though that's pretty close to where we should be. And I think we'll squeeze out some sunshine as the clearing process continues behind our cool front of yesterday. Tonight, chilly, 39 degrees. Friday, sunny and 59. Clear skies for the full moon Friday night. Saturday, sunny and 62 degrees. This is 97.1 FM Talk. Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray.
What's it going to take for you to realize the IRS is in full-blown attack mode, and if you have IRS issues, your timely response is critical? Hi, this is Lance Drury with the Lance Drury Law Firm. We certainly know the IRS has ramped up efforts because we're seeing a lot more clients with threats of intents to seize property or levy rights to property. If you have IRS issues, call the Lance Drury Firm today. Today, don't wait. Those IRS notices have hard deadlines for exercising your appeal rights. If you miss the deadline, your rights to a legal appeal are gone. Let the Lance Drury Law Firm get between you and the IRS today, and we'll help you manage your case to achieve the best outcome. IRS problems are serious legal matters, so call Lance Drury Law Firm, located right here in St. Louis. Don't wait. Call 314-260-6120. That's 314-260-6120, and schedule your free consultation with me, Lance Drury, or visit LanceDruryLaw.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
In Missouri, farming isn't just a profession, it's a purpose. You can feel it in our 27 million acres of farmland. You can see it in the nearly 41,000 Missourians who work in agriculture. You can hear it at our farmers markets. You can count it in the $93.7 billion it brings our state. And you can taste it at your family's dinner table. A lot of farmers in our state rely on Bayer's tools and inventions because Bayer has a purpose too. To help farmers thrive. Learn more at go.bayer.com/purpose. Paid for by Bayer.
Stewart's American Mortgage, when you go online and Google bagel loan, you're going to find Stewie. That's kind of the easy part of it. Now, why do people use the bagel loan? Because if you're getting a mortgage and you go somewhere else that doesn't have the bagel loan, you're probably going to be paying a boatload of closing costs. The Stewart's American Mortgage bagel loan, you don't pay any closing costs when you use that. It's a pretty simple situation. And I've used it myself twice to refinance my mortgage and make sure I secure a nice low rate that I very much so enjoy right now. And Stewie made it as simple as it could possibly be. When you call him at 314-324-4440, 314-324-4440, you can ask him how a bagel loan can help you, and he will walk you through what you need to know. But just a reminder, when you do sign up and get this going, he can close in less than 2 weeks to make sure that you are well taken care of. Go to Stewie. He's the guy I trust for my refinance. If I have to get a new mortgage, I'm going to Stewie to get that bagel loan once again. 314-324-4440. Google the bagel loan, NMLS number 226715.
When you're trying to find quality candidates, all the searching, screening, and interviewing can become a job itself. You need Indeed, the all-in-one platform that makes it easy to interview, screen, and hire quality people. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
The Trump presidency is coming into focus. The updates are happening fast. 97.1 FM Talk. The vision and strategy for 2025 is here.
That is exactly what I needed to hear.
Thank God someone here knows what you're talking about.
That's us. That's right. Gotta love this American ride.
All right, you need to take the time and get the full picture.
Don't get me wrong, I love the ladies. I mean, they rev my engine, but they don't belong in the newsroom. It is Anchor Man, not Anchor Lady.
What do you want from me? I'm not America's sweetheart.
Goodness sake, kid. Keep your voice down. Your father's listening to the radio.
I'm not America's sweetheart.
This is the Annie Frey Show.
Look, part of what's holding back energy dominance in this country is that administrative state. Look at the regulations coming out of the Department of Interior, the slow permitting requirements, how hard it is to open a new refinery. So I think that is the root cause of our failure as a country, is this unelected fourth branch of government. And I think they look at elected officials as these cute little puppets that come and go every little while. Not anymore. There's a new sheriff in town. Donald Trump's the president. He has mandated us for radical, drastic reform of this federal bureaucracy with the learnings of that first term. And you look, Elon and Elon's solving major problems of physics. I came from the world of biology. What we're solving here now is not a natural problem. This is a man-made problem. And when you have a man-made problem, you better darn well have a man-made solution. That's what we're bringing to the table. We're assembling the brightest minds in the country. This is the equivalent of a modern Manhattan Project to take on, I think, the major problem holding our country back. It's the federal bureaucracy.
That's Vivek Ramaswamy, and the Department of Government Efficiency is well on its way to making its presence known. You can follow him on X, too, which I think is kind of funny that it is there for you to follow. And they're going to give you the updates as they have them. There are so many moving parts to establishing a new administration, a new administration, and usually this stuff takes, the entirety of the time leading up until inauguration, which is January 20th. Donald Trump is wasting absolutely no time, breakneck pace. Marco Rubio for Secretary of State means that Florida is going to have a vacant Senate seat, which will then be appointed by the governor, Ron DeSantis.
Likewise, if I am able to serve, I would love to serve the people of Florida. This is my home state now and has been for 3 years. This is where Eric and I live. And truly to have that opportunity, I think would be incredible. No one knows better than I do the America First agenda or the goals of Donald Trump in the coming 4 years. So if I am asked, I would love to consider it, but I have yet to have a conversation with Governor DeSantis, so we will have to see.
Well, Governor DeSantis has been in Italy, and the only reason I know that is because when Matt Gaetz was like, hey, we got to start the clock on my 8-week turnaround because I'm resigning from Congress yesterday, which caught a lot of people by great surprise. DeSantis is in Italy. So what happens next, we shall see. What do you think about Laura Trump in the Senate?
I'd rather see her stay in charge of the RNC. She's done a great job. And I hate to see all the progress. Now, maybe, she could leave that and it would still run well. But I'd like to see him explore other options. I'm not saying no, but I'd like to see him look around a little bit first.
The one interesting thing about Laura Trump being in the Senate, and I if Laura Trump was Laura Smith, I think I'd be like, sure.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah.
So I have this kind of apprehension about her being there just because it looks nepotistic. But if it's the right move, then who cares? Like, they're obviously doing the things that they believe to be the right move, regardless of how people feel about them. And, good grief. That's why we elected Donald Trump, because he's got the stones to do it. The thing about Laura Trump being in the Senate that would be very, very advantageous, I believe, is that anything that's happening in closed doors in the Senate, you can't ice her out. You can't exclude her from everything. And if there are things that are taking place in the background that we're not supposed to know about, that are the antithesis of America First, if the swampiness of the Senate were to be able to make it past the draining of the swamp that people sent Donald Trump back to Washington, D.C. to do, she would be able to out it. They would either not be able to do it, she would have to become part of it, or they try to do it and she exposes it.
Yeah, or they just kind of try to move around her, but she'd be a great, not just to talk to the president, because obviously he's going to trust her, but she'd be a great public voice for accountability in the Senate too. She'd be able to go on news programs and say, look, this is what's going on. We need to change this. And that would be okay. That'd be okay with me.
I don't think it's a bad pick.
I don't either.
It also doesn't take anybody else out of a position they've currently been elected to that puts the Senate would be an appointment. The House is a special election. I like the thought of not putting in elected official here to the elected position there.
And then dominoes have to fall to refill those things. It's almost the same angle that I'm taking on Trump. He's picking these people to be in charge of different agencies. And for the most part, I'm just saying, well, I voted for Donald Trump. I'm going to trust him to fill this with the right people. The same can be true of DeSantis. I trust DeSantis. You see this guy making great decisions left and right in Florida. Whatever pick he makes, I'm going to be fine with because DeSantis made it.
In the midst of all of this, we also know that Donald Trump is facing a lot of legal challenges, lawfare. It's just, again, depending on your perspective, you're going to call it one thing or the other. But it seems as though all of these things are just kind of fading to black, and they're likely going to go away. Andy McCarthy, who we love having on the show here, was talking about Donald Trump's legal situation. And I think it has a lot to do, in addition to that meeting that took place between the two of them yesterday. Joe Biden, when Donald Trump sat down with Obama allowed the meeting to happen. Trump did not allow the meeting to happen with Joe Biden. I think it's a different case, but I do think it's refreshing to see the transition happening now the way it is. But just because it's nice on the surface, Obama brought Donald Trump into the conversation, said, if you succeed, we all succeed, said all the right things, and they sabotaged the crap out of the situation in the background. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, this is going so great. Like, how wonderful. Everything is nice again. Like, no.
I will say, if it wasn't for Democrats yelling from the rooftops for the last 4 years, we are the party of democracy, they would be doing everything in their power right now to stop that man from taking the oath of office.
They are going to leave, the only thing behind in the White House is going to be one hook with a hat on it that says peaceful transition.
Yeah,
that's where you hang your hat at the end of the day. And you know what? Okay.
Great.
Like, I will say that if the transition is truly peaceful, good for you. Good for us. Good for all of us. I don't trust the surface vision of peaceful transfer of power because they tried to shovel that bologna sausage into the picture in 2016, and they did the exact opposite of that.
Yes.
They sabotaged everything they could, every way they could. So pardon me while I don't just fawn over how kind and generous Joe Biden is. I've been here for the last 4 years. That's not exactly the sentiment that I have for it. Ben Domenech was talking about the meeting that took place between Joe Biden and Trump.
What you see in your picture, Stuart, is obviously Donald Trump alongside two of his best demographics, older Americans and suburban moms who voted for him emphatically over Kamala Harris. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not sure I've ever seen Joe Biden look as happy as he does in these pictures.
It's rather surprising.
You can interpret that for yourself. I know what my interpretation is, which is that I think that he seems very satisfied that this election resulted the way that it did. Look, you can. I mean, she did wear red when she went to vote.
This
Stuart.
is true.
I mean, come on.
So, people are seeing what we're all seeing here, of course, and that what's going to happen with all the lawfare that's been levied against Donald Trump with Joe Biden's Justice Department. Andy McCarthy said this, I think, after seeing some of this meeting that we saw.
I get the sense that what's going to happen is the Biden-Harris administration is going to dismiss the Trump cases. They've already sort of laid the groundwork for that. Judge Chutkan has set, I think, December 2nd as a date for Jack Smith to get back to her on how he sees the case proceeding in the future. I think what he'll come back with is a motion to dismiss the case.
So McCarthy is saying that he thinks that they're just going to be dismissed and it's going to be done. It'll be interesting to see if that's what materializes. But then there's more to what McCarthy
My
is
sense
predicting.
of this is that, and I continue to think this even though the White House pushes back the other way, I think that President Biden is going to pardon his son and that he will get a lot of criticism if that's done in a vacuum because it's a form of self-dealing, and he also said he wouldn't do it, so he'll look terrible. But I think if it's pitched to the country as kind of a clemency package, where we're turning the page from the Trump prosecutions and turning the page from the Hunter prosecution, the country will take it a lot better.
So the idea that the Biden administration will dismiss the cases against Donald Trump and Donald Trump will pardon Hunter Biden for his problems, his legal problems. Would you be mad about it at this point? I mean, you can't go undo what's been done.
This is a really good question and topic because what's happening right now, everybody knows, like, this stuff's probably going to go away. And so it's not headline news, but it's still very important news because not only is this going to affect the way this next presidency happens and maybe the end of the current one, but you're also setting a lot of precedents by the way that you handle these things. And this is legally beyond me. This is a Hans von Spakovsky question for another week. But what kind of precedents are we setting depending on how these cases close right now? I'd be really fascinated to see what legal minds have to say about that because I think it's important.
Well, it's just weird to me that, like, if these things were as serious as they all said they were leading up to it, and they were so urgent, as Jack Smith made in all of his court filings, that now that it's the election's over and it didn't go the way they wanted, they're just like, no, wrap it up, pack it up, that's it.
Good try.
And we all knew it. It's not we
didn't all know it.
We all Republicans didn't know it.
Good clarification.
Everybody understood deep in their soul that this was election interference.
Yes.
That was the whole point of it. And now that it's going away, nobody's going, I want justice. Nobody's saying that because they knew it was about the election.
I don't, we're repeating or we're reporting, I should say, on all of these news stories as they continue to be developing and things are coming so fast. I didn't even mention this today, but it is official that the Republicans are going to own the House. So I don't want to say the word trifecta ever again because everyone's like, trifecta, trifecta, trifecta. It's the word of the day. But with all of that news, it's a very forward-thinking way of reporting right now. Is it necessary? Should we spend time assessing the Kamala Harris campaign?
Kinda.
It's to me feels like a fun Friday conversation.
Well,
but I look at the thing is that I can say this out loud now, and maybe it makes me a coward that I wasn't willing to say it before. But the truth of the matter is, I don't know that I do now completely. Maybe the old Ronald Reagan phrase is appropriate here, trust but verify. The stupidity, the repetitive stupidity of the campaign of Kamala Harris. Watching her try to earn the votes of the American electorate in the dumbest ways possible. Understanding that they raised $1 billion and ended up $20 million in debt. They can't run a campaign and they want to run the country. She didn't go on Joe Rogan because she had staffers who were like, if you go on Joe Rogan, then you're going to give him a platform. That's not how it works. He gives you the platform. When you say that, you're saying that the bazillion listeners of Joe Rogan aren't worthy of your time. And they said, okay. Like, your choice to not go on Joe Rogan is about as dumb as it comes. Donald Trump's tweet that came out, and he's, like, talking about how stupid it is that Kamala Harris, he did it in his own Donald Trump, like, I'm going to be kind and generous way, but it was tongue-in-cheek, about how shocking it was that they were in that much debt, and he used the phrase earned media. The understanding that you can go out there and get attention, you can get your message out, you can utilize platforms that are out there and not have to pay it. They paid 6 figures to that Call Her Daddy podcast.
Yeah.
New York Times cited somebody who said they listened to that, and that was the reason they voted against her.
Yes.
6 figures. Why? Listen, folks, I don't know if you completely understand how radio works, but nobody's ever paid me a dime to come be in this studio and talk to us. What value is an endorsement that is bought? Was Donald Trump buying endorsements?
I keep looking into this. I can't find that he was. Because that would be, if that's a common practice, that's news to me. But hearing this about the campaign, about the Harris campaign, has been one of the biggest jaw droppers, and we haven't talked about it.
It's so dumb. Maybe we should just talk. I mean, we got a break, but because Trish is going to come here for Annie, are you okay? But like, I've been kind of thinking, like, I don't want to kick them while they're down, but I do want to assess what happened.
Yeah, absolutely. If they had Joe Rogan do that interview, they would have had to build another set for him. Mm-hmm. It's the stupidest argument. Even at the time, we're like, why wouldn't she go to Joe Rogan? Both J.D. Vance and Donald Trump just did it. It's not like they're too busy. So you're not too busy to go do this. And they're building sets so that she doesn't have to, leave Washington?
They don't want to do it on. They don't want to do it on his terms.
It makes no sense.
They wanted to demoralize in some capacity what Joe Rogan does. They said, we're going to do a third of the time that you traditionally do, and you're going to come to us. And he was like, the heck I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is exactly the right answer. What were you going to say, Brad, quickly?
Yeah, that's what they did with the Call Her Daddy podcast. They spent $100,000 to build a set instead of her going to that set.
Yeah.
Just wasteful.
Yeah, complete. Very
Dumb.
bad campaign.
Stupid. And I want to go back and smack myself for thinking she could win, but the truth of the matter is I think that we all were like, there's no way she should win. This is an absolute joke. She's not even taking it seriously. It seemed to me at the end of the day, like she felt so confident in her ability to win the election that it didn't even matter that she was making stupid decisions. And I did say this on the air, and I was leaning into this quite a bit more off air than I was on air. But you remember when Bill Gates made that big dump of money, $50 million? Mm-hmm. And I said on the air, this is absurd. This feels like a money laundering thing, or like a bank the donation thing for something that isn't this. Because why would you put that much money in at that time?
So close to the election.
So close to the election. Like, how do you even spend that money in a way that affects the outcome at this point? And it feels like, how many people got paid? Where did $1 billion, where did $1.02 billion go?
Some of it went to Oprah.
Some of it did. Some to her. The people that worked that production had to get paid.
Yeah,
$1 million.
Nobody pays to go on Oprah.
But you won't fly to Houston or Austin or wherever Joe Rogan is in Texas. When you were in Texas that week, she was in Texas because who was she? That was with Beyonce. She was with non-singing Beyonce the same day that Trump went to do the Rogan podcast, I believe. That would have been free. It would have been free. It would have been free.
Yes.
And you were like, nah.
No thanks.
And the reports coming out of the campaign are that there were some super woke advisors that she had that were like, you can't go on there. You can't platform him. There will be too much of a backlash. Blah, 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 blah. And she listened to him. Bad judgment. Stupid expenditures. Terrible campaign. Thank God. Let's take a break. Annie, are you okay with Trisha when we come back?
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Frey Show.
TheDiamondShop.net. Folks, there is an event tonight, and it's at the Diamond Shop in Clayton, and I am going to swing by. So I hope that you can come by, too, and see me. I don't know how long I'm going to be able to stay, but I'm going to come right in the middle of Ladies' Night. It's Ladies' Night at the Diamond Shop, and boys and girls. You need to tell your women. This is what you're doing. You're women. You need to tell them that they need to take a night and go enjoy this really, really fun event at the Diamond Shop. It's from, I got to make sure I get the right details here. At their Clayton location, it's the place that they're located, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. this evening. They have a grand prize, and it's a 14-karat yellow gold necklace, diamond flower necklace. Retails over almost $2,500. Everybody who comes gets an entry to win this necklace. You can shop beautiful, beautiful things there. It's a once-a-year event. They have door prizes. They have swag bags for the first 100 guests, chocolate martinis and sangrias. Ryan, you can't come. You're not a lady. Hors d'oeuvres, special jewelry sales throughout the course of the evening. If you go to thediamondshop.net, you're going to be able to learn more about this event. But a reminder that 5% of every single purchase during the event is going to go to this year's charity of choice, the Backstoppers. We are excited to be able to support that as well. There's a chocolate fountain. Bring your girlfriends for a night of fun at the Diamond Shop tonight for Ladies' Night between 5:30 and 7:30 p.m. I'm going to try to come there towards the middle of the evening. So come out, see what the Diamond Shop has to offer this evening. Come say hi, and you'll understand why I shop there, why my husband shops there, why people have been shopping there since 1910. Isn't that amazing? Learn all the details for tonight's Ladies' Night, 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. at the Diamond Shop in Clayton at thediamondshop.net.
For the past 3 seasons of Gone South, we've covered one story per season. Now, Gone South is back for a 4th season. But this time, we're doing things a little differently. In Gone South Season 4, we'll be bringing you news stories every week with no end in sight. Listen to and follow Gone South, an Odyssey original podcast, on the free Odyssey app and wherever you get your podcasts.
Attention, have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-481-4455. 800-481-4455. That's 800-481-4455.
Listen, you've been making house payments for years, right? And right now your home's value has never been higher, right? That means you're likely sitting on a small fortune in equity. Good for you. That's cash you could use to help secure your retirement, solve all your financial burdens, enable you to travel, everything you want. The catch is, you're not ready to move. No problem. You don't have to with True Hold, Sell and Stay Leaseback Program. This is a genius financial strategy. You sell your home to True Hold while the value is high. You bank all that equity in cash now, and you can stay in your home as long as you like with an easy, affordable lease. And True Hold pays property taxes, insurance, and maintenance. True Hold unlocks your wealth without uprooting your life. Get a True Hold offer now while your home's value is sky high. Call 1-855-300-9993. That's 1-855-300-1993. Or visit TrueHold.com. The smarter, faster way to cash out without moving out. TrueHold.com.
Prescription products require completion of an online consultation with an independent healthcare provider and are only available if prescribed. Subscription required. Additional restrictions apply. See website for more details and safety information.
Did you know millions of people are getting prescription medications for weight loss, sexual health, better sleep, and more, all online? RexMD.com has made getting these medications fast and easy, with free delivery of the most popular medications right to your door. Just fill out a brief survey, and if appropriate, we'll prescribe and ship clinically proven options to help with issues like weight loss.
I've lost 45 pounds so far. It's nice to get back into clothes that I haven't been able to wear for a long time.
We can also help with insomnia.
I slept through the whole night. It made me feel very well rested and ready to go for the day.
And RexMD can improve your sexual health.
I felt like a young man again. My wife is happier. I am definitely much happier.
At RexMD.com, we've made the process fast, easy, and affordable. Visit RexMD.com right now to get started. That's REXMD.com.
Hey, it's Mark Reardon for New Perspective Senior Living in Weldon Spring. New Perspective is just opening. I had the chance to take a tour and meet the staff. I got to tell you, this place is amazing. They offer state-of-the-art independent or assisted living, as well as memory care. Imagine your loved one enjoying delicious meals, activities, entertainment, and even an AI fall detection system. New Perspective Senior Living of Weldon Spring is redefining senior living. Visit npseniorliving.com to schedule a tour today. That's npseniorliving.com.
You're listening to the Annie Frey Show live from the Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Insulation Studio. Air Comfort Service is celebrating 55 years of residential and commercial service, maintenance, and installation of heating and cooling systems. Get in your comfort zone. Visit aircomfortservice.com.
The minds and voices that shape America are talking here.
This is Brian Kilmeade. This is Griff Jenkins from Fox News. This is Jimmy Fallon.
Stream it on the Odyssey app.
97.1 FM Talk.
97.1 on the Odyssey app on your phone. You're listening to the Annie Frey Show. The Annie Frey Show is streaming online. Watch us live on YouTube and subscribe.
And now it's time to play Is Annie Okay With This?
Trisha. Hi.
Hi, Annie. Hi, crew.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Good to see you.
Trisha's just been bullying Ryan the whole
Came in.
Yeah, but now we got to pretend like everything's fine because we're on the air.
Yeah, you're doing a great job.
Everything's fine. Really appreciate your friendship, Trisha.
Man dresses as bear
That's full of crap.
Man dresses as bear to commit insurance fraud.
A bear?
A bear.
Why didn't I think of that?
4 people in Southern California are facing insurance fraud claims after they alleged their cars were trashed by a bear.
So they dress like a bear?
That's not what I thought this was going to be.
A video submitted to the insurance company shows the bear entering a 2010 Rolls-Royce.
Are these people high?
Upon investigation, it was determined that the bear was a guy in a suit.
Where were they?
In Southern California.
There's bears in California.
But how do you prove it was the guy that owned the Rolls Royce? Couldn't you just say some guy in a bear suit also attacked my car?
I don't know how they put these 4 people together, but the group also submitted claims for 2 other vehicles.
It's literally a bear on the California flag.
With the bear man damaging the cars.
It was that bear.
You tried to do it with other animals. You're like, that was a man-sized chicken, but it was a real chicken, I swear.
Look at this llama. It's going crazy.
Things are out of control.
Annie, are you okay with Scooby-Doo?
What?
I don't. The victim and the what?
Let's see who's really behind the mask.
You'd be surprised how many bear stories I tell. I'm kind of running low on.
Okay.
What?
You know,
Man Wiggins.
One other way to commit insurance fraud using a bear costume would be when the insurance guy shows up to collect his bill. You go, I'm a bear.
Identify.
I can't
it's California,
pay bills.
you know.
I'm just a bear.
I don't know anything about Scooby-Doo, but apparently just a wee bit more than Ryan.
I do not like Hanna-Barbera. I'm sorry. If that makes me a pariah, then it makes me a pariah.
Pariah Carey. It's coming.
Almost Christmas.
Oh, man. UK man arrested in connection with cheese heist of 2024.
Ryan.
Authorities in London have arrested a 63-year-old man in connection with the heist where tens of thousands of pounds of high-value cheddar were stolen from major distributors.
I'm listening closely to this because whatever it is, I'm going to do the U.S. version, like The Office.
So what you do is you place an order under a company, you have the cheese delivered, and then people find out later that you are an imposter.
It's like voting.
Ooh.
Yes.
In a blue state.
Okay.
Exactly.
Why are all these cheese deliveries registered to parking lots?
Please deliver all of that cheese to my cheese business that I own here in the U.S.
Just leave it behind the fence.
It was about $389,000 worth of cheese.
Mhm.
It was a ton of
That's
cheese.
a lot of cheddar.
You know what? That's too much.
Hey, that's a funny joke, and you didn't laugh, and you shoulda.
You guys are fine, but
No.
that's too much cheese, practically
Cheddar.
speaking.
Cheddar.
You don't need to steal that much cheese because what are you gonna resell that cheese? Probably not.
You sound like a cheese thief expert.
If you're gonna try to eat the cheese, you can't get through that quickly.
How do you know?
Because I've tried legally to eat a ton of cheese.
Tried to eat 300 grand worth of cheese.
No, that's my point. I stopped at like 10, 15 grand.
Everybody has their limits.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't go past this. If somebody tried, that'd be crazy. I had no idea it would come up today, but that is my past. Again, I don't apologize for it.
So the thought is the cheese will be sold on the black market. Celebrity chef
Black market cheese is exactly where Ryan Wiggins gets his cheese. That is coming to a thrift shop near Ryan. And then you know what happens. He puts it in a box with some fluffy tissue paper and gives it to me for Christmas.
Every flea market I walk into.
So, Annie, are you okay with cheddar cheese?
Yeah, that's the preferred cheese on a burger.
How about for a Christmas gift from Ryan?
Nope. I have food gift packages that Ryan has given me for Christmas, and I still have never opened them.
They were expired before you got them.
That's why they were at the thrift store.
Mm-hmm.
Which is also why Ryan was at the thrift store.
You got to poke around a little bit, get to know him. Hey, I see you got some cheese here, but you got any in the bag?
New app.
Remind me to tell you a joke off air that I just totally passed on, but want credit for.
Okay. Looking forward to it.
New app helps users across the U.S. identify UFOs. The app comes from Enigma Labs and was developed to allow users to upload videos of odd sightings.
Do you have to pay to use it?
Capture in the sky. I'm sure you do. I don't know how much. I'm sure there's
all
a
making
subscription
sense.
fee. An AI program generates a score to help determine whether an upload captures something known, like a plane or a satellite, or something truly unidentifiable. Annie, are you okay with the Men in Black movies?
The first one, definitely great film. Watched it in our 80s, 90s, early 2000s reboots for my kids. The second one, don't even remember it. The third one, yes, because Chris Hemsworth is in it. Also, I don't believe that aliens are real. And the fact that we're talking about aliens again in the news cycle makes me very concerned. Because it's always a look over here moment. It's to cover for the cheese heist by the bear.
That's got to be, how much are you going to trust? Okay, I took a picture of something in the sky. We uploaded this app, and they go, nope. Like, that's it? Okay.
What are the chances that it just says, yep, all the time?
Yep, that's an alien.
Definitely.
South Carolina woman finds python behind her toilet.
Nope.
The woman ended up calling
rope.
The woman ended up calling for police help after she walked into her apartment's bathroom and found a large ball python behind her toilet.
What are you doing in that moment, Ryan?
I don't think I'm staying in the room a long time.
I mean, do you vocalize horror? Do you freeze? Do you go get it like you're the crocodile hunter?
I think I'd probably take the Jurassic Park approach, and you just freeze and you go, if you're not moving, they don't see that.
Like, oh,
you
crap.
just sit there and you just take a dump, but you do really slow.
The snake starts slowly.
It's from all that
wrapping around you. You're like, it doesn't know I'm a person, though. It just thinks I'm the toilet.
It's from all that cheese.
It thinks I'm an extension of the bathroom.
He's in there for an hour and a half trying to get that cheese out.
Such
a good idea during the heist.
But I'm so committed to meet. I know the science on this. I'm not moving.
He's still got half of his bear costume on.
Just the top half. Or the head.
The snake
Just
is
the head
so
and
confused.
and like a crop top.
Snake's like, I really don't know
Totally
what
on
this
trend.
is.
Totally on trend.
Do we eat bears?
Yeah. I know for a fact this snake won't eat a bear. I'm safe as can be. I'm just going to take a shower.
Especially if you're really still.
Still got a little cheese in his shirt pocket up top.
All my fur's getting all matted down. Because I'm in the shower.
Obviously. Is your toilet in your shower?
No. I've already done that part.
Annie, are you okay with pet snakes?
No. No. None. No.
Meanwhile, a pet python who had been missing for 2 months was found at a Chili's in North Carolina.
Didn't they go out of business?
Oh.
Or no, is that TGI Fridays or something?
Fridays is going out of business.
Was the snake looking for its eggs, a.k.a. wanting its baby back, baby back, baby back?
You're fired. Somebody who can fire Ryan, come here and fire him. You can only do that joke if you do it like... Can you say fat, what's his name on the air? Is that allowed to be said?
Sure.
From
I mean,
Austin
Ryan's
Powers?
saying all this stuff. Oh. Yeah, we better not.
Gold member.
Fat gold member.
I don't know if we should say that
I want my
either.
baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back, baby back. Ribs.
Okay.
Anyway, what did that snake do?
Baby back ribs.
Nothing. He got loose. He'd been missing for a couple of months. He was in a Chili's parking lot in North Carolina. Officers apprehended the snake, which was an interesting way to phrase that.
They cuffed him.
They cuffed him,
Gosh,
threw him
this
in the
is
back of
difficult.
the car, and brought him home.
They need to put him in one
They
of
put
those.
him in the back of the car.
They put him in one of those finger traps.
They were like, he got out of the cuffs. I can't believe it. Where did he go?
Loose. Now it's tight.
I don't know what to do.
I never thought this was possible. Put it into a cage.
Annie, are you okay with Chili's?
Yeah.
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 Dan?
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what else to say about it. I'd eat some Chili's right now.
You ever had the Ruby Tuesday salad bar?
I love the Ruby Tuesday salad bar.
That's great.
Great croutons.
Yeah, I agree.
Stop by at Applebee's for 2 for $20. Porta potties fall off truck during morning commute.
Lord have mercy.
Where they fall?
Not anymore.
Not once they fell. A truck failed to clear a low-situated overpass during the morning commute in Cambridge, Massachusetts, knocking 2 porta potties off the truck and onto the road.
Can you imagine being the guy that was trying to go pee in there?
On the back of a truck while it was moving under
Well,
an
he
overpass?
didn't know. He was just at a fair. And all of a sudden, he's like, hey, why is this thing
he
shaking
was taking
so
one
much?
of those really long cheese-induced poops that you were talking about.
Uh-huh.
Just hanging out, minding his business.
Then all of a sudden, he's got his sunlight.
Why is this whole segment about bodily functions? I'm going to get another handwritten letter.
It's not. It's about mostly snakes and bears.
But it just keeps coming back to the same thing.
Well, this was about a porta potty. I blame Trisha.
The truck initially left the scene, but returned about 20 minutes later to collect its cargo.
Did they get to their destination and be like, well, wait a second.
1, 2.
Something seems lighter.
We were taking something from somewhere to somewhere else. And now we're at the place. We're missing the thing.
But the guy's still sitting on
The guy's still
truck
there,
bed
though. He's like,
with his
"Oh."
pants down.
He's scared to death.
Annie, are you okay with traffic?
It's my favorite thing. All day long, I'm here at work, and I'm like, gosh, I wish I were in traffic right
Can't
now.
wait to get stuck in traffic on the way home. That's
There's people
all I
sitting in
have.
traffic right now listening to the station, questioning everything.
Mhm. If there's ever a lane that's moving slower, I'm like, get in that one. Skip the left lane.
That's what my husband does. Is there anything more universal than husbands and wives completely disagreeing on everything driving? Do you have that with do you and your husband, Trisha, do you disagree while one of you is driving?
Yes, all the time. I don't actually, neither one of us knows how the other survived, like without the other person in the car. It's
Yeah.
not just me. If he's driving, it's not the whole like, oh, my wife is stopping me from running into somebody. He's the exact same way. If I'm driving, he's like, I am saving our lives. Like, you better slow down, watch out.
Is that the way it is with you and Mrs. Wiggins?
No, my wife is the most impatient driver I've ever met. So she is always wondering why I'm going so slow, and I don't go that slow.
You're proving my point.
Yeah,
Well, then
Listen to the podcast
So
and catch
be
up
it.
on the show, Brad.
I mansplain all the time when I'm
I'm sure
driving.
I'm sure she
that's
loves
what
that.
I'm saying is that I don't do that to her. She does it to
Yeah, but
me.
you disagree.
Yes.
That wasn't
Is the
the
point.
question.
It doesn't really
I
matter.
tweeted out just randomly the other day because I came to the understanding that premarital counseling should include your best laid out plans to all of the places you frequent. If there are multiple ways to get to there from your home, you should have to have that discussion before you get married. Like, this is the norm. This is the normal person way to get to this X place the fastest, because you will not agree on that when you're driving. You will not. I promise.
Sounds like you're trying to set up a food tour.
What?
Looking for
what
fine
are you
cheese.
listening to? What are you doing?
Not
Don't tell
really
me.
sure.
Don't
He's
answer.
trying to sell the cheese.
Are you
Yeah.
okay?
No, yeah, I'm fine. I was just thinking about all that dang cheese in my shed.
Is that a euphemism? We'll be right back.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Follow Annie on X at Annie Frey Show.
RulerFoods.com, the savings that you need for this holiday season that is upon us. Thanksgiving is just around the corner, and I want to encourage you to get to Ruler Foods. Go to RulerFoods.com right now, and you can see what I'm talking about specifically. But share more and spend less with Ruler Foods. You can get a Thanksgiving meal for under $5 per person that feeds 8 people. Ryan, I'm going to list off these things, and I just need a yes or a no if you eat this part of the Thanksgiving meal. All of this is included in this super low price Thanksgiving meal at Ruler Foods. Turkey,
Yes.
rolls,
Yes.
green beans,
Yes.
French fried onions.
No.
Oh, delicious. Cream of soups that goes in with the green bean casserole.
Yes.
Sweet potatoes,
Oh, yeah.
Mac and cheese?
Yes.
Stuffing?
Yes.
Turkey gravy?
Yes.
Potatoes?
Yes.
Cranberry sauce?
Sometimes.
Divider of people. Noodles?
Yes.
Chicken broth?
Yes.
Pumpkin pie?
Oh, yeah.
Whipped cream?
Put it right in my mouth.
Fair enough. Sorry, Ruler Foods. Right now, if you go to rulerfoods.com, you can enjoy this Thanksgiving meal for under $5 per person that feeds 8 people. Do the math. This is an amazing saving. So if you are hosting Thanksgiving, or if you're bringing a dish to Thanksgiving meal, go to Ruler Foods. This is the time. If you've never been before in your life, go for this particular reason and save. There's no reason not to. Report back to me and tell me how you liked it. Rulerfoods.com.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org. For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers. So we build specially adapted homes at Homes for Our Troops. And thanks to our donors and supporters, this life-changing gift of freedom is provided mortgage-free to these veterans. But we need you to join us too in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a truck accident, you need the best, Onder Law. Let us make your case our cause. Truck accident? Call Onder Law for a free review at 314 or 618-9000000.
Guys, it's time to take charge of your health with my friends at Victory Men's Health. Mark Cox here. I already love what they do at Victory. They do hormone optimization, sexual health, weight loss, even vitamin deficiencies. Now they're offering specialty cardiovascular testing and even early detection cancer screening. Visit them at one of their 4 great locations, now in Sunset Hills, Town and Country, O'Fallon, Missouri, and O'Fallon, Illinois. Tell them Mark Cox sent you. Go to victorymenshealth.com.
Honey, is our car still under warranty?
No, not anymore.
My sister just got an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover our repair bills if anything happens to our car, new brakes, a transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait a minute, we pay nothing on the repairs? Ox gets it fixed for us? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance? What's the number?
800-296-3315. Ox has a 30-day money-back guarantee and an A-plus rating with the Better Business Bureau. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike other warranty companies. We should call now. 800-296-3315.
The last thing we need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-296-3315. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care, 800-296-3315 or oxcarcare.com.
The YouTube live chat poll of the day: do you like Matt Gaetz as Trump's pick for Attorney General? We're about to give you the results of this poll, and as far as I understand, it's been pretty close.
Very close.
weigh in while you still can. You got a couple minutes till we give you those results and close the poll. YouTube, go to YouTube and type in Annie Frey and then vote yes or no on do you like Matt Gaetz as Trump's pick for Attorney General. 252. This time check is sponsored by Jerry Kelly Heating and Air Conditioning.
It's time for a $98 furnace tune-up.
JerryKelly.com.
This is the Annie Frey Show. Find the podcast, on-demand audio, and more at 971talk.com/Annie.
Welcome back to the Annie Frey Show. That YouTube live chat poll that Ryan has just read for you. I'll read it for you again. Do you like Matt Gaetz as Trump's pick for Attorney General? Yes or no? We've got 362 votes in right now. I'm going to give you those results in about 3 minutes. So go get your vote in right now before we read them and end that poll. We have more news, cabinet appointments that have been made, and a very big one has just been announced. The Secretary of HHS, which is Health and Human Services, your very own Robert F. Kennedy Jr., which is a pretty big appointment that people have been waiting to find out where does this go. So what does HHS oversee? Let me report to you here real quick. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services oversees a wide range of programs and activities, including health programs. HHS administers programs like Medicare, Medicaid, children's health insurance programs, that's also known as CHIP, and the Marketplace. Another one is Human Services. They provide financial assistance and services for low-income families, maternal and infant health programs, as well as early childhood development programs and more. Civil rights. The HHS Office for Civil Rights enforces laws that protect civil rights, religious freedom, and health information privacy. Aging and disability. The Administration on Community Living, ACL, manages programs that provide assistance for older adults, people with disabilities, families, and caregivers. Public health. The Assistant Secretary for Health advises on public health and oversees the U.S. Public Service. On legislation, the Assistant Secretary for Legislation, ASL, advises on legislation and facilities communication between the department and Congress. You said you looked up the FDA, and you said the FDA falls under HHS?
Yeah.
So Robert F. Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, is going to be in charge of something that he is going to be able to do a lot of reform with.
Yeah, when I heard the pick, I said, oh, man, I wish he'd be the head of the FDA. Then we looked it up. HHS is over the FDA.
Yes.
That's great news.
This is like that pick is made, and I am excited to sit down and just spend some time with X and see how people are reacting to that pick, because everybody wanted to see where he would land and make sure that he actually did have a strong role where he could be implemented in a way that would really make a difference, and I think that is it. Pretty exciting stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's great.
Well, speaking of appointments made by President Trump yesterday, we found out about 24 hours ago that the pick for Attorney General is Congressman Matt Gaetz. Later on yesterday, he resigned his position, so now he is Matt Gaetz. Although I wonder if you're always kind of referred to as Congressman. I think once you've been there, you get to retain the name. But he is no longer in Congress because he has stepped down. Ryan, do you like Matt Gaetz as Trump's pick for Attorney General?
Really tough question. I'm going to go with slightly no.
Brad?
I'm still a no on that.
Yeah, I'm still a no. I trust Trump. We'll see how it goes. I'm not losing any sleep over this, but this one is a head scratcher for me. We had a lot of feedback from you all on the chat. With 376 votes in our poll today, 59%, so a very close poll, 59% said yes, you do like that pick. 41% say no. But we'll wait and see what ends up happening here as we move forward. The news keeps coming, and 97.1 FM Talk is here for you the whole time. Stream us on the Odyssey app and check out our podcast, AnnieFreyShow.com/podcast. Mark Reardon Show next.
In Missouri, farming isn't just a profession, it's a purpose. You can feel it in our 27 million acres of farmland. You can see it in the nearly 41,000 Missourians who work in agriculture. You can hear it at our farmers markets. You can count it in the $93.7 billion it brings our state. And you can taste it at your family's dinner table. A lot of farmers in our state rely on Bayer's tools and inventions because Bayer has a purpose too. to help farmers thrive. Learn more at go.bayer.com/purpose. Paid for by Bayer.
Who you choose to sell your St. Louis area home matters, especially in this changing market. We all know a few realtors, including me, but I only recommend one realtor. Mark Cox here. For the past several years, I've gotten to know Gloria Liu, owner of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Gloria's different, guaranteeing to sell your home at your agreed-to price, or Gloria will buy it. When selling your home, you want the most money and the least hassle. That's exactly what you get with Gloria Liu of Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. Check this out. After 6 months, 2 separate agents failed to sell the Wheeler family's home. With no more time to waste, they decided to give Gloria Liu a call. Within a few days, Gloria was able to get them multiple offers and sold their home at nearly 99% of listing price because Gloria already had the buyers. The agent you choose to sell your home really matters. Call Gloria Liu at 314-325-6888. That's 314-325-6888, or visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com.
Conditions apply. Gloria and seller must agree on price and possession date.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? They're